Yeah, so yeah, sorry I dropped that in your lap right before I hit the go live thing, but yeah, we're going now. This is like, hey, here you want some extra stupid before we start?
No, I mean, like I said, you clearly have some kind of fetish for triggering me early in the day.
I do. It's one of the things like you know how people wake up with Folgers in their cup? I do not. I wake up with triggering my generic minority.
I don't think you think about it directly, but if the opportunity arises, you're like, hey, you know who'll get pissed off by this? Generic.
Yes.
This kind of
Yes.
thing annoys him.
That is a real thing that crosses my mind. I do not do everything. I don't send you everything that will piss you off, but I definitely once in a while I'm like, I'm thinking about you. Oh, you muted yourself. Oh no, I muted you. Never mind. Sorry, go ahead. I don't know how that
This is how you get the tsundere vibes from me, because this is what you do to the people in your community you care about.
They do it to me.
How am I a tsundere? How am I a tsundere? Yeah, you cover it. What do you mean? You cover this topic? I don't cover this. I make dumb Pokemon videos and movie reviews that are overly complicated and long-winded. You act for this, my friend.
This is unfair and unreasonable. How dare you expose me like this on my own stream?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Chesh exposed by her guest on stream with facts and reality.
Could you imagine?
This is what you do.
No, I'm ruined. I'm gonna get canceled. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. We're here. I'm using the Dumb Fact Friday set because work smarter, not harder. This is with me is Generic Minority. We are live on Twitch and we are live on YouTube, so feel free to join us on either. Hi Generic, how you doing?
I'm doing. You like to just hit me right over just wang right with a joke right over the head right as soon as we go in. It happens every time I hop on the show. Someone says a thing that has me away from the camera laughing.
It's true. So today we're gonna talk about Vic Mignogna. We haven't in a while, but he's been busy again. And I know you've tried to have a handful of conversations with fans of his in the comment section, and the most that you get met with is like, no, we don't talk to that guy.
Yeah. The best case scenario is that people just don't respond to me at all, and then even when they do, like, the best I've ever gotten out of that is, yeah, Vic's done a bunch of bad stuff, but I still like him, and that's pretty much it. Like, no actual Vic fan has ever responded to me. No, like, they're all stans, people who would just forgive him no matter what. So,
Right. I mean, at least sometimes, once in a while, some of them are like, oh yeah, he's wrong, but I like his work. Like, once in a while, they'll admit that he did something wrong, but there's a lot of people who just, like, deny, and they try to turn it into, like, well, you just believe that this is wrong, and it's like, it's illegal!
Yeah, because I believe it's wrong because, spoiler alert, it's wrong.
Go figure. Way too complicated of a conversation, but we've pilled up some amusing comments to look at, and these comments are coming from my videos or streams about Vic Mignogna. So we've screenshot them, and we're gonna pull them up on screen and kind of go through them a little bit and give them the attention that they're so deserving of. I have a hard time saying that with a straight face. Okay, so somebody had responded to you when you had said Vic Mignogna was gaslighting his fans, right? And they said, quote, he gaslights his fans into believing his own version of reality. That's an extravagant way of saying defending, as in Vic is defending himself. So, what do you think?
The same thing I said there. None of what you said is based in reality, because in order to saying he's defending himself, that's one thing. To say that Vic is defending himself from false allegations is one thing, because if he were there would have to be an outward attack against him, and there isn't. People don't, not as far as I've ever seen, go into his streams and start. That's not how it started initially. At least as I was there early on and looking into streams and just seeing people siding with him. Not many people going out and saying, no, you're wrong, you're terrible, you shouldn't be this, that, fiddle, or fat. He just mentions it all the time. He talks about how people attack him all the time. And so the fact that you're having this outward attack towards people who aren't attacking you is innately aggressive, and you can't defend while being aggressive. There's outfighters for a reason. You take light jabs, maybe, but you're not a slugger. You're not Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson would never be classed as defending himself in a heavyweight fight. He was beating the crap out of someone else. Like, so it's, and also that was multi-layered. That comment too was his fans defending him. We were talking about it earlier. Is that if you're a person that is, imagine that defending someone is a shield. If you're going to other people's videos and attacking them anytime they say anything, because the caveat is always these people don't actually watch the entire video. Like we haven't really talked about anything, but I guarantee there'll be comments where we will cover something. You've covered something in the past I've seen, and it had been talked about in the video. Video will be 8 minutes long and they couldn't be bothered to watch it. Yeah, they just wanted to comment. So there's already just a failure to launch point, but they think that they're defending, swinging a shield around, going, I'm protecting.
Well, they're also coming in with a comment about something that's been discussed as if it hasn't been discussed, or a statement as if it hasn't been addressed, and then complaining that, like, but I'm just trying to have an honest conversation. And it's like, you have not started from an honest standpoint. Even if this is something you honestly believe, that's not the point. The point is that because you're starting from a dishonest standpoint, we cannot treat you as an honest interlocutor. There's like another... And I'm going to echo this a little bit. I see people talking about and criticizing the things that Vic Mignogna does on his streams, on Twitter. And I think these people view that as an attack when it's not.
Right.
Because they're attacking his character.
Right. It's anything would be an attack. Just anything that isn't agreeing with him, anything that isn't siding with him, seeing him in the same light that they see him in, is attacking him. Regardless of even if the commentary is factual. That Hot Wheels shirt he was wearing in that one stream looks kind of ridiculous on a 60-year-old man. Why are you attacking him? He looks ridiculous. He looks like he was shopping at AmVets. That's why. Like, it's what are you talking about? Like,
you're taking this too seriously.
Exactly. It's also just like, maybe I just want to comment about how his shirt looks silly. Like, I wear silly shirts. Maybe I think it's a cool shirt. You don't know. But they're so playing off the back foot, because any comment on him at all can't be a critique, because then it's it's tangentially tied to their feeling about themselves as a person. Like, if they feel like, if they like Vic and that his characters that he's played mean something to them, if someone doesn't like Vic, that means they don't like them. It's if you don't have
tying the character to him and attributing the attributes that character, the positive attributes that character has, to Vic Mignogna, and he feeds off of that. He wants that. He like encourages that. If you don't believe me, you don't have to go look at his Cameo. His Cameo.com account. This person had responded to your point by saying, my bad, I don't got a degree in linguistics and psychology, like, yeah.
I think they meant like you, but yeah. We speak English around here.
Like, yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm down thinking about Justin Timberlake. They responded by saying they don't have a degree in I don't have a degree in linguistics, by the way. I have a bachelor's in psychology, and for those who are wondering, I have about a grand total of 5 years in the therapy/teaching field. So my experience is not. I'm not gonna act like I'm a doctor. I'm not gonna sit here and claim holier than thou. Jordan Peterson lies to you, but I'm very knowledgeable on practical psychology. So for this person to say they don't have a degree in linguistics or psychology, they definitely like to use the word extravagant there, and really wasn't. And then my follow-up was that you don't need a degree for common sense. Once again, swinging a shield around and going, I'm defending this, it would be silly if you did it with a physical shield. So you have to put that into your mind as like, okay, what's attacking and what's defending? I'm defending.
No, these people are Captain America.
No, my shield is my shield. They're Neji. They're just angry, angsty, and their defense is their offense.
They're Neji.
They're Neji.
Dude, that's a death threat.
Well, listen. Think about the ley line of it. They are usually pretty well-to-do people, or like they have nothing else really going on, but they're mad about their place in life, and their place really ain't all that low, and they decide to just go and try to beat people up about it.
This one says, question, What behavior are you talking about? Vic hasn't done anything towards anyone, and he definitely wasn't creepy towards females. Again, you guys don't have any proof he did these things. Your allegations are completely false. That's because you heard something from someone. That doesn't make it true. Let me correct that. There's no commas there. Again, you guys don't have any proof that he did these things. Your allegations are completely false. That's because you heard something from someone. That doesn't make it true. You are find every reason to attack this man for no reason. Why not all of you just leave him alone, find something better to do in your lives than harass this man?
Oh, that's our buddy King Ninja show. I remember seeing him before.
Yes.
Yeah, one, somebody got a Mongoloid to English dictionary. I could really use that. And two, you know what proof we have of Vic being creepy with the females, quote unquote? Him in court saying he was being creepy with two women, females, by bringing them up to his hotel room and not telling him, hey, I would like to do some. He just brought them up there and kind of subjected them to like essentially pressure by social. And it's like, well,
and isolation.
Yeah. And isolation. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know why I said social. Isolate them, which has its own whatever. This has its own
connotations.
Yeah. Right. But this is the main point that I can't get over with specifically the Vic and like a Jordan Peterson audience, to mention him again, is that in order to even just cover the base level thing, which is something he's admitted in his own words in court, you have to ignore other pieces of context around it just to get to the base level thing. It's like, well, this is an onion. This has layers. Yeah. It's been years, decades upon him doing things that, yeah, sure, individually they might not have been deemed that bad, or maybe it was just like piss poor communication. In a bubble, they're individual. If it happened once, twice, hell, I'm a nice guy. Not really. I'm a forgiving guy because I can understand situations. Even a third time, like hey, moron, you're bad at communicating what you want and so on and so forth. You can have a talk with him, but he's way past that point. His fans aren't grasping the concept of reality at all, and he's not, even in the few small moments when he does, because he has these are the kind of fans he listens to. Whatever this is above me, I'm not to point to it. There we go. This is above me. These are the fans he listens to, because I've talked to his fans who don't want him to be a part of these things, who don't want to see him in these conflicts. I've talked to him on Twitter, and they go, he doesn't listen to us.
Right.
I'm being told this directly by his fans. He doesn't listen to us. He just listens to these people. We try to guide him on the right direction. And I go, well, you also have to speak adamantly out against these people, because what King Ninja here said is also a bunch of allegations to say you're alleging that we don't know, but we heard from him directly. So that means you know even less, or you're actively choosing to ignore it, which makes you worse. So standing on this soapbox is nonsensical and playing loud.
The thing that amuses me out of this one is Vic hasn't done anything towards anyone, and he definitely wasn't creepy towards females. The fact that you're just using the word females in the sentence to tell women how they do not feel I love it when men do that. That's my favorite thing.
Right over the top of the head, just right. Alex Jones, I don't know anything about it touching any females. You're like, yeah, you just said females though. Like, you keep saying.
You're just telling on yourself.
You didn't do anything. Yeah, your cadence, your tone, your words, your choice of words. Your body tells on you more so than what you say does. And even when you type things, you can't resist the urge to speak your truth, and your truth may just be really fucked up or wrong or come from a misguided place. But when you assert it like it's a fact because you feel like it is with no proof on your end, that's when you become an asshole and we make fun of you.
Right. We got this one. The only one who tried to manipulate audience just for views on YouTube is you. All you're doing is making the situation even worse by making more lies. Like, seriously, move on, all right? The drama is over.
Yeah, that's why you're here, White Spider, and you've been here since I started in Chesh's chat a year ago. You've been showing up. It's over though, but you keep showing up. The ultimate is the irony not palatable to these people? Like, no. I can never imagine tasting lead and going, "Nah, it's fine." You know, I love sucking
I
pennies. Like what
always
is
bake
that?
lead in when I'm making lies in my easy bake oven.
Yeah, that's what else do you do with the easy bake oven? You put lead in it.
I'm
It
tiny.
sounds
I
like
have to use an easy bake oven. I can't use a regular sized one.
yeah, and you need to put the lead in there because you need your iron.
I bleed it out every month. I gotta put more back in.
Doc's around telling old people to try prunes, but telling Chesh to eat lead.
One thing that we've seen one of the things that we've seen in these comments thus far, and we'll continue to see these comments is there's no addressing the point. There's no addressing the argument. It's just accusations. It's not like you lied. Here's what you lied about and where, because that would be too much work. You would have to think about that. It's
Also,
it's
you'd
easy.
have to. It's easier to just say it's a lie, but also you would have to come to grips with the fact that like what you're saying in defense of it is just flatly wrong. Because once again, the main end all be all, and this is the ultimate irony of it all, as people say like you're spreading lies and you're building this and that, fiddling fat against Vic. I found your channel because I was looking to figure out what the fuck was going on. I didn't know who Vic Mignogna was. I didn't know him by name. Infamously, I hate Dragon Ball Super. I heard all the drama about Broly. I think Broly is a hilariously dumb character, and I wanted to watch it. And then it was like, no, Vic getting kicked off and all that. When looking up information, the first thing I saw was him talking about it on a stream. Because there's a bunch of videos of Vic talking about this drama on his own streams. And yeah, in the moment when he's saying, yeah, we shouldn't be aggressive and we shouldn't engage with these people who don't like me, I could understand there. Yeah, you may not want to engage with people who are just naturally not going to like you if these allegations are up in the air or whatever. That makes perfect sense. But, and this is where Vic always gets screwed up on the end, he still keeps saying he's being attacked. He's not. He's telling people not to engage with them. No one engages with them. I've seen it in his own live. Nobody shows up to Vic's streams and acts like, because they know it's a waste of time. They, however, do show up to any other video they can find, even if, and clearly don't watch it. If you want to look through all of Chesh's old videos, you'll see comments I've made where they are responding and they don't say a word to me. They only respond to what Chesh said. I have pointed out the thing that they're about to follow up to Chesh's statement already in a super elongated comment that they could just read, and it was already in the video. Just right over the head, So you got to have a grip on reality in first place in order to even be someone approachable, and this person doesn't.
I like this one. I like the special self-righteous condescension that comes with some of these kind of comments. I may not forgive you, but I will be praying for you to get help. My God and Vic have forgiven you for this disgusting misinformation you have spread. May you get help, and may the internet have mercy on your soul.
God is diametrically against the internet. It's a couple of things here. One, Saxton White. Who the fuck are you? You're not God. You don't get to decide whether or not you forgive. It's God does that. God does all that. That's if you're playing clever at Christianity. God does that. You're supposed to just do it anyway. Like, God chooses whether or not there's redemption. The one that's
special about this one is it validated, I think, a comment that I made at some point where I said Vic goes the extra step to weaponize his religion to enable his fans to do shit like this.
Yeah, he does talk a lot about prayer. Yeah, he talks a lot on prayer and God and forgiveness. The irony being, had he followed any of those creeds, he wouldn't be talking about this. Because it's about forgiveness and healing and moving forward. But he keeps bringing it back. So I don't... It's multi-layered, because then on top of that you have to throw religion onto it too, and it's the my God implication, as if you're it gets sticky, because the implication of that your God would forgive over someone else's God, or that your God's forgiveness is worth more than another person's God, when none of us know, is like such a outlandish thing to say about anything. Even if it was like, you bumped into my cart at the store and my God will forgive you for bumping my cart. Like, I often it's
a stretch.
It's a Bikram yoga stretch if I ever seen one. Like, it's rough work. It's hot yoga stretching, because at that point you're just not living in reality. Like, may the internet have mercy on your soul.
It was such a bizarre statement.
It's meant to kind of they didn't think about it this deeply, but it's meant to kind of mock the concept that you spend all your time on the internet, and therefore the internet will cancel you for not liking Vic. But
oh no,
bad news.
Get in line.
It gets worse. Get in line. It gets worse. They're not going to do that because if you just look up any objective fact, no, he's just wrong. Like, if he was living reality, he's just wrong. But the hyper Christianity, or just religious in general, I need some higher power to smite this tiny Canadian person for saying my favorite, for saying Alphonse Elric sucks. Like,
oh no.
Like, no, I remembered August whatever.
There's another level to this too, right? Where it says, I will be praying for you to get help for the disgusting misinformation that you have spread. And it's like, why won't you help me? If you're self-righteous and you value this so much, why are you not telling me which information is the misinformation that I've put out there? Why are you not being why in the righteous nature and wonderful person you must be, why are you not willing to help? Where's your videos? Where's your fucking what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, it's
literally Vic in a fucking courtroom being fucking brought forward in front of the lawyers to give a deposition. What do you want me to? How am I spreading misinformation by putting out the literal words the man said? I don't know. Help, please help me. Please send your God. Thank you.
Please send your God to help me sort this out. I can't figure this out. This is above my pay grade. I need your God.
Yep.
It has that layer of this. That's common though, as we touched on earlier, is that you're just saying that I'm wrong. You haven't actually presented a case to the contrary. You're just saying I'm lying, or you in this case, or even in me in a comment.
The most convincing.
Yeah, you're saying nuh-uh. Yeah, you can't. It's childlike. Only a kid would actively see something and then say nuh-uh. But also, these, like you said, there are a bunch of people who comment consistently. Yes. They spend, and ironically also, a lot of them will probably cover a couple, will tell you that you're wasting too much of your time making Vic videos, yet they waste hours. I know, because I get the notifications at like midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning that they are commenting. And on my phone will buzz, and I'm like, I'm asleep, and I'm like, do you have nothing better to do with your life than to tread on to a month's old video at 3 in the morning and comment about how something is something? I was like, we're past the point.
Unironically claiming that I'm on the internet too much. Yeah. There's one that's special in here that I didn't put in here, and it's I don't know why I was recommended this, and it's because yeah, of course you got recommended this. The same way you got recommended this. Because you got recommended it because you were looking for it. Because you were engaging with it. Because you were trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And so people who are coming across my videos about Vic Mignogna are looking into Vic Mignogna stuff. Yeah,
it comes along with it. But also, that showcases when the people are like, oh, why'd this get recommended to me? Or like, there's a couple people who said that. Or like, why'd this get recommended to me? This is trash. Exactly, because you were seeking something about Vic Mignogna to go comment on. Once you know what it is through the title. Your titles are not like trickery. They're not clickbait. They're your thumbnail.
Right, you didn't have to click the video when it came across it. Yeah.
Right. And then on top of that, you have a history of making videos, once again, with titles that are straightforward. So anyone who would look at it, because that's how I found it, would be like, oh, this person more than likely feels some type of way given these like handful of titles here. If you're not interested in that, don't watch it. But you clearly it's the kid in school. I've always talked about it. It's that kid in school who punches other kids, and then when they get punched back, they come to you crying about how they got punched. And then to which I tell you, that you got punched because you punched them. Don't go around punching. It
turns out they didn't actually get punched. They just missed a swing and punched a table, and now their hand hurts.
Oh, yeah. That's happened a couple times. Also had a kid get his head bashed into the wall.
The bias in this video is venomous. The case was corrupt, and everyone knows it. The case. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the whole case. Which one?
What does
the
that
one where
mean?
It's just that old edit guy. I hope he doesn't edit anything, because whatever that is a trash video. Oh, he edits my videos.
Oh no.
Even this is the thing once again about Vic. Like this comment, the bias in this video is venomous. Everything is amped up to 10. It can't just be. There's a little bit of misinformation here, because of the. I don't know if I don't think I sent them to you. There was someone who had. I know I sent you the video. That said like was basically against the allegations or the statements made about Vic and against them, and saying, hey, there is proof that people lied, and sent me a video, and I watched it, whatever, and I didn't agree with it, but they actually gave a reasoned argument. But the problem is like it comes from the stance of they already just wanted Vic to be innocent, so whatever they're listening to, that's what they want. And then so even when you do get evidence from them, it's usually biased, ironically. And then through Vic, because this is the stuff he says in his stream, he talks about like, oh, the evil in the people and how toxic they are, and he always and venomous, and I just wanted to stop. And he always does that, and it's this it's subtle, it's cult-like behavior where you try to indoctrinate the idea that anyone who speaks out against you is not just bad, they are venom. They're infecting your body like venom, and it's gonna rot you away from your core. And they're demon. Everything is always extremes, and anybody who lives in that level of extreme, in terms, if you're on the internet, you live in that extreme of commentary by yourself, you're not gonna make it. That's just facts. You could be pissy about it all you want. You can same as I said in that earlier comment. If you have, you're gonna struggle if you can't tell the difference between offense and defense. Probably don't be on the internet, because there's a difference between defending yourself and attacking people on the internet. And this person here is like the epitome of that. The case was corrupt, and everyone knows it.
I understand that there's problem with the American court systems, right? But that's not the conversation we're having. And even if you were going to try this direction, in what way? Because quite frankly, I would agree. I think that Vic did get screwed over by his fucking lawyer. But that's a him problem. That's not everybody else's fault. That's his own problem. There's nothing anybody can do for him in that case.
Even more so, he got screwed over by his lawyer. A lot of it, really, more so now than ever, is his fault. Like, and directly his fault, because the way he interacts with the court cases in themselves, like the way he handles them. And it's like, if I'm a lawyer, screw this dude. Like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I'm not gonna put my full effort into helping protect this guy in a case if he's gonna muddle it at every single opportunity and make it harder for me to do my job. So it's like,
right.
My mother is a lawyer. It's like, when you make a defense more difficult, people don't want to defend you. Like, if I'm defending you with my shield and you keep poking me in the back with a stick, I'm not gonna want to defend you. I'm gonna like, stop poking me back. You know what? I hope they shoot you with an arrow. Bye, and leave. So it's multi-layered, and it's he can't. Neither him nor his stands, his fan base, can crack that first layer.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think there is a matter of. Oops, I put that on the wrong thing. Sorry about that. There we go. There's there's something to be said about when you need to turn the whole thing into a conspiracy, right? The whole thing is just a conspiracy against this one guy. We see the same kind of stuff with Andrew Tate. We see the same kind of stuff actually coming out of the company videos that I made. Same kind of stuff. It's all up here. It's all this. It's all that. And there is no downtime. And what you do is you burn your audience out. And when you burn your audience out and abuse your audience like that, they're not going to be clear-headed in what they're engaging in and why they're engaging with it. And you're sending them off half-cocked. And that's your responsibility. When you decide to make content, you take on that responsibility of what you put out there. And so you have to cull and curate your audience and let them know what is and is not acceptable. So if it's acceptable for Vic to go around and call these people evil and call them horrible and say that they're this and that and the other thing, that is what they're going to view as acceptable. We talked about the same thing when we talked about Hassan Piker. Same thing. Right. Same, because the responsibility is the same. The same thing for me. If people that are part of my streams on a regular basis and the audience that I cultivate here starts going into somebody's side chat and start causing problems, they're allowed to be in the side chat. I can't stop them from doing that. But if they start being problematic, it's on me to be like, no, that's not cool. You can't be doing stuff like that. Right?
Yep.
It's very straightforward.
I mean, it's so simple they miss it. It's just a very simple concept. I constantly tell people, if you break the yes, as adults, things are a lot more complex. My experience mostly working with kids where things are simple, but when you break things down to their core, just the bottom most basic bit of logic, it's like, well, clearly, just off the base of it, it's like it's malicious. Like this is an outward attack on anyone who doesn't like Vic, or you're like, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything particular. In my first few comments, I was way back when I was very forgiving to the concept that Vic may just not know, may be misguided, so on and so forth. It needs to be focused in the right direction. There were people who commented who were like, maybe, and then inevitably always fall back into, because it's uncomfortable to think that what they have justified in their head is wrong, and therefore they're wrong because they're tied way too close to it. They go right back into the same thing, and they haven't left that cycle since. And the important point is that's 100% on Vic, though, because he has to say, I get it, we don't like the things have to be said out loud constantly. I hate it. As someone who understands context, I loathe the fact that we have to constantly say the thing we all know at its core. On the flip side, like you said, running a channel, having a community, having a fan base of any kind of significance, even if it's a small one, if you are not careful with what you say, you may incite the wrong feelings, opinions, actions in your fan base, because they're fans. They like you. They want to be a part of your community, feel like they know you. Maybe you're a pretty personable person. But if it became a situation where people were just blindly defending you, and like you had like stabbed me in the liver or something like that, and then somebody in the side chat's like, Chesh would never do that. Chesh would never stab you in the liver. It'd be like,
there's video evidence. She said she did it.
Video evidence. Yeah. There's a picture of her smiling while stabbing me in the liver, by the way. So, but yeah, that's
I had to jump for every time I had to stab.
I was just about to say, it's me in the shower, like in Psycho. It said you like do a flying dive bomb off the top. She came and gave me a swanton bomb with a knife. This is like monkey jump chest.
From the chat, Katina asked, "Do you think that Vic believes any press is good press?" I think that he craves attention. I think that he wants people talking about him. I think he prefers and desires positive attention, but I think he is okay with the negative attention as long as he has his backup crew. Like, because he never addresses the criticism. Right. Why would he do that? That would make too much sense.
No, he 100% is in it for his. I mean, in my former professional / like educated personal opinion, it's completely ego driven, because if it weren't, I wouldn't have interactions with fans who say they tell him things that he doesn't listen to, and also actively see people. Not only does it, you actively see him ignoring people who are like, oh, just don't talk about it at all, don't even bring it up.
His own fan base,
his own fans telling him don't bring it up. Simultaneously, you'll see people, we've seen it here, where he'll say in a video, don't engage, don't go after these people, don't do this, don't do that. They come and engage in your video, and I say, hey, this entire video is about Vic saying don't engage with people, yet here you are engaging, and their response is, well, Vic's not going to see it. So automatically it's just like, it comes from this place of, well, not only does he not,
God's not watching right now.
Yeah. God's not watching me. I'm in my war room just touching it by myself. No one knows. For those who don't know what the movie War Room is, or what a war room is, please look it up. It's a room where Christians go to pray and they stick Bible verses to the wall. And it's just, I don't know what it's upsetting, because you're asking for basic human concept of reality from these people, and they can't even hold that together in their own single sentence response. They have two sentences, and one contradicts the last one, or is just filled with speculation and trigger words. It's never any reasoned arguments. That's always the biggest problem.
So you got this one. Speaking of which, yes, the leftist speak again about someone who she's never, USJWS, will never stop harassing a man trying to live his fucking life without people like you reminding him of shit that happened like, what, 4 years ago? Who she's never what? Met? Who she's never.
Yes, one you can't.
I have
as
never.
You all know,
I have never, Vic.
You've never. I've never.
I never.
Vic. I would never, Vic. How dare you? I heard you were Vicking down at the club the other day. I would never.
I would never.
I would never. I'm married. I would never, Vic. But not only that, the leftists, I was expecting, I don't know if you can say this on YouTube, pinkos to come out after that, because that's how old that statement is, like start of. But also
the
harassing. Yeah. Well, it's an American thing, but the one, you're allowed to talk about people you've never met. You're like, you can, especially public figures. That's the first thing. So a public figure, hey, guess what? I don't like Taylor Swift. It's not because of the football stuff. I don't like her music. She's a public figure. I'm not going to go out and make a video where I bash Taylor Swift and her personality. I just don't like her. That's a perfectly valid thing to do. Also, not your channel. It's a common thread amongst VIX fans. They don't want you making videos on him. Go make your own channel where you present something that is evidence towards him. Can't even do that. 3, making a video about him is not harassing him, because guess what? He's doing this crazy thing that you guys should be doing. Not watching the videos. He's not watching them, but you are in abundance, and it's fucking weird. And so you're living your life in this bubble where you're like, okay, this is harassing him, and I'm like now reading over it again, ruining his life. Hey, yes. I don't know about y'all. Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but he streams a lot. Like, he streams a fair amount. He gets like tips and donations and stuff. Did Vic say he had to move out of his house, or that he can't find any jobs?
He might have to soon due to the court fees, but yeah, that's a different kind of conversation. Yeah.
He kind of brought a lot of those on himself by wanting to bring up court cases for no reason. But all these people saying that, like, it's ruining his life. No, here's the thing. He's got to take onus on that on his own, because it's not, that's what's ruining his life is his insistence to, and you a Vic Stan right now, you commenting, you are ruining his life. You at home are doing it, not because you, even if you say let's play this game, let's take it all away, and you didn't say anything wrong, you're just defending him. You keep talking about it. The crazy thing is, if you're a piece of shit, people tend to forget when you don't talk about it. Michael Jordan was a huge asshole. Nobody ever talked about it for years. Then the Last Stand documentary came out, and everyone's like, wow, Michael Jordan's an asshole. Really good basketball player, huge asshole. If you don't constantly tell people why they shouldn't like you, they usually don't have a reason to not like you. You guys all broadcast that, and in a tone every week. Yeah, thank you to Joseph in the chat. Every week. He streams every week. So he still has a platform. You guys are acting like he's not allowed to speak anywhere. Like, other internet personalities have had their platform taken away from them, also on allegations, like Brian Hayward from Rooster Teeth. They didn't put him on Twitch. They took him off Twitch, and what was going on with him was still technically allegations, but it was bad. It was really bad. Mm-hmm. Vic is not at that point, and yet he keeps making it worse for himself. And then you show up and just start talking about leftists. And as you have
what does politics have to do with any of this? Like, whatever my personal politics are. But I would also like to point out, if you're American, I will probably inherently be left of you, even if I am conservative in Canada, because your whole political spectrum is just
it's all headache inducing screaming in the corner. It's a bunch of debate me bros trying.
But it has nothing to do with being an SJW or being a leftist. Has absolutely nothing to do with looking at Vic Mignogna's problematic behavior, because it's not like I'm sitting here, the law needs to be changed, and
right. Well, this comes back to the maliciousness of it all. It's like your opinion of it is that this is ruining his life. According to who? Where? According to Vic telling you so. And that goes back to the gaslighting aspect. He keeps talking about how hard it is. He keeps talking about, one of the things, Vic hasn't yet to do one thing, and this is something he's yet to look internally. even if it's not to
Yes.
say he's a bad person or did anything wrong, just internally to find his own peace, because he clearly
Yep.
can't let go. If he could let go, he'd be like, if Chesh makes a video, somebody points it out to him, he or anyone, people say they're still making videos about you. Okay, let them. Just don't engage with them. That's just, they can keep making videos because I've reached in life. I can't do anything about what the situation is other than handle these court cases and go home. That's and hopefully my fans. He could have. I've said several times, he could have handled this technically years ago
Yep.
much more quietly, and no one would have
Yes.
been the wiser. No one would have probably really even
Yep.
cared. Like he could have took the Al Franken route. Hey, my bad, did some bad stuff. Hopefully you don't hate me. I'll disappear for a little while and then come back and go right back to doing not the same exact
Yep.
thing, but still being able to be around without people,
At least if Vic
cringing.
is getting my videos, like this person seems to be claiming, I'm giving him good advice. Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
actually,
Go away for a little while. Come back.
I listen. I took PR. I took communications and public relations when I was in college. You are saying exactly everything I've been told by a PR teacher. It's just shut up. Stop talking about it. Like there's nothing worse than like if Legos makes a Lego so small your kid choked on it. They're not gonna go. Hey, listen. I know we made that Lego your kid choked on, but you can't tell us to not make Legos that kids choke on. It's like if BP when they had the oil spill just kept talking about it. It's like
Right.
oil spills. Hey, can't be mad about oil spills. Hey, we got Dawn dish soap. Can't be mad about oil spills. It's like, well, stop. Shut up. Just clean it up. Move forward. If it can't clean it up, if it can't move forward, he has his own neuroses and dwells on it in his own right, because now he has a victim complex about it. He has a self-righteous God complex about everything. I'm not going to argue his religion is necessarily negative or is causing it, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help in any kind of way that he has this zealot nature about and feeling that it all has to be above and in a higher power, whatever you believe in, has to be this mystical, omniscient power that gets rid of people because he's just so. He's one dude. He's one 60-year-old dude who's made a lot of money doing funny voices. Why are we doing this to each other? Why are we acting
Yeah.
like? Why are we just pulling cards out of our ass? Leftists, SJWs who just like. I don't like people being assaulted. It doesn't make me a leftist SJW. It just makes me someone who doesn't want to see people assaulted. That's not weird. You're weird for thinking that's an SJW thing. That should be a human thing. You absolute dipstick.
So we got this one here that says, what happened to innocent until proven guilty, or the other way around, guilty proven innocent? It seems like that's what's going on here. It's pretty shame that is.
English is a hard thing for his fans.
Yes.
English is just their secondary language.
Hey, listen, props for learning a second language.
Yeah, I get English is hard. I say it all the time, but like maybe you once again, if you
These
don't grasp the
people
basics,
do not understand that innocent until proven guilty does not apply here. It was a civil case that he brought forward, and he failed to make his case. And so the case was dismissed, and he lost, and so he has to pay fees. Because cases cost money. I don't know what to tell you. It's just not even applicable.
It's hey, Bobby Fischer. Who is he? I don't know. It's what do you mean? I don't. It also once again. It's the you're finding him guilty of a crime. Okay, here's the thing. That's another big sticking point with Vic's fans is the criminality of it all, right?
Right.
He didn't commit a crime. He didn't go to jail. Excuse me. He didn't get arrested. He didn't. It's always whether or not they were convicted in court. Here's the thing.
Right.
One of the things you can go to jail for is solicitation for drugs, prostitution, all that type of stuff, right? Just asking for some drugs. You could go to jail for buying cigarettes from someone on the street. You could just that can happen. What happened in that case and what Vic describes in his own words was him soliciting sex from twin sisters.
Mm-hmm.
That is illegal in 48 of the 50 states. He was not in one of those two states because I believe they're both northeast. I think it's like Rhode Island and Vermont or something like that, where it's not illegal. Also, You can try to argue him ham all day about they're sisters as opposed to this. It's also illegal between step siblings too, so there is no barrier for whatever it is, whatever excuse you want to make. What he was doing was soliciting an illegal activity. There may not have been necessarily any malicious intent. He's just a horny old man. I can't listen. As
when is Dominican that's Puerto the Rican leftist dude. That's the leftist SJW thing. When will it be illegal to be a horny old man? God damn it.
Yeah, right. No, listen.
I'm gonna get a picket sign. Cancel horny old men. I'm gonna wave it out. I'm gonna get up early in the morning. I'm gonna wave it around outside of the Tim Hortons where all the old men hang out early in the morning. No, hey, be horny. Do you do you? Respect.
Listen, as a Hispanic man, as an Afro Latino, I get it. I get it. Like, you see cute girls and you're like, yo, she's cute. Like, I get it. But the where it now has leaped into it's a problem is the context of it. Is the context creates the whole situation. And the problem, once again, you're just ignoring it. You can't ignore it. Saying he's innocent until proven guilty. He said in a court of law, he solicited something that's illegal. No, he didn't go to jail for it, but
because it wasn't a criminal case.
It wasn't a criminal case, a civil case. They decided they wanted to bring one up. There is technically, if he had actually like done something with them, if you wanted to be kind of a nitpicky douchebag lawyer, you could absolutely be like, well, he slept with those girls and that's illegal, and and yada 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 if you talk to them.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, which is once again why I say he could have just as easily walked away from this nonsense and been done with it, and no one would have cared.
Yeah, this came up. He explained this in court case that he initiated. This was his court case.
And even more, like, not only he initiated it, he's told you exactly what it is. He's a horny old man. Okay, we are aware of that. We all, if you got a grandpa, I do. I got a granddad. He's from South Carolina, and he's old, and he talks like a Rudy Ray Moore of like a blaxploitation. Horny old man. You know what he doesn't do? Harass people who don't, or talk to people or touch people. Vic also has the glomming incident stuff of like hugging people. Yep. That's just like, that's another thing too, is Vic doesn't even understand basic human interaction, because any human worth their salt in interacting would know not everybody wants to be touched. Like, that's just like sitting right here in this show. There are two polar opposite in almost everything people. I'm a big brown dude. I'm all about being hugs. Chesh doesn't want to be touched and is a tiny white person, quote unquote. Yeah, don't touch Chesh. But it's like, if you walked up to, if anyone walked up to me, can I give you a hug? Yeah, sure, I'm good. Like, I see people on the street and they're like, I just want to hug. I used to be a big fat guy. People, I just want to hug you. Okay, go for it. If it makes you feel better, I'm glad it made you happier. And so I understand even that aspect from Vic. He's like, hugs make me happy. Great. Not everyone wants to be hugged. Be nice to hug Chesh. But if Chesh is like, don't hug me, I'm not going to go run up and be like, oh my God, Chesh, I met you in real life for the first time. First off, I'm way bigger than you. And secondly, you don't want to. So there's the crushing aspect. Also, Chesh asked very politely and made her line very clear. Just don't come up and randomly touch me. That's not a hard thing to not do. It's like, I get the glomming. People came in at cons and ran up and hugged me. But that's because it didn't bother me, because I don't care. That's individualized. And Vic does not understand individual boundaries.
And then he projects his boundaries and what he wants onto his fans, so much so that he was almost crying about it. He's claimed, I'm breaking out in tears because fans aren't going to be allowed to hug him anymore. Like, what? What a bizarre fucking thing to do. So we got one more from this person that says, yes, I'm going to read these little thingies as uwoos, because I feel like that's the only appropriate thing. Yes, uwoo. I love seeing a leftist SJW making videos on Vic just to get the spotlight, like Mars Girl did when she mistaken Monica's ex-husband for Vic. I wish I could do that. People need just to leave him alone and let him live his fucking life, uwoo. Like, uwoo, y'all have no life if all you do is sit on a computer and make videos on people that you've never meet. We all make fucking mistakes. No one is perfect. Ooh, we're all fucking humans. Y'all are just oof wow. Anyways, bye. Enjoy being bullies.
You guys are just okay. Two things. One, English again. It's very hard. Mongoloid to English dictionary. Thank God Chesh was here to add words that weren't in the sentences in order to make it make sense.
I'm sorry, I don't realize that. I did my best.
No, you did. You did phenomenal. Had you been one of my students, I'd be like, "Yeah, read Dave's paper. Can you make sense of that? Oh, you did. Thanks. Here's a gold sticker."
Yeah, I love gold stickers.
No, I don't have any more gold stickers. But also, there's so many layers to this stupid.
Yes.
The English, firstly. Secondly, what does the Mars girl Monica's mistaking for X? Because also that wasn't English. I have no clue what that is, but what does that have to do with anything? Even in regardless of context, what does that have to do with anything in the realm of reality?
I couldn't tell you.
I wish you could do what? Try to fuck Monica's ex-husband because he looks like Vic? That's okay. And people need to leave him alone and let him live his life. You could help in that process by leaving people alone and letting him live his life. The irony of you making, now this is 2 comments about how someone has no life. Do you taste the metal?
The lead.
The lead, can you get the lead out when it's bitter. It's there should be a coppery taste of ringing in your ear right now. We all make fucking mistakes. No one is perfect. It's fair. I will give you that. It's fair that we are human beings and we are innately flawed by nature, because we're humans. We don't know everything. We can only know but so much. With that being said, it's not a mistake to continuously to be a habitual line stepper is not a mistake. You are either absent-minded and no one has told you, and it's a mistake in the sense that for you, the Vic fan that has not told him not to do that. You're now part of this. To quote Def Leppard, and choosing not to make a choice, you've still made a decision.
Right.
So now you've chosen to not tell him, hey, maybe don't go up and necessarily touch random people. Some of your fans don't like it. Because I imagine some of his fans don't like just being touched. Now we're at that point. It's not a mistake for him to constantly do it if he's willful of it. It was, you could argue a mistake for bringing the girls up to the room and not necessarily being explicit about what he wanted.
We're back to the bubble thing, right? You might be able to argue all these things could be a mistake in a bubble, but when you put them all together, that bubble pops pretty fucking quick. This is not a mistake. This is intentional behavior that he's acknowledged is wrong and not appropriate, and continues to do it anyway, and then continues to rile his fans up, who then come up and show up half-assed to do the thing that he's pretending to tell them not to do. Right? So, like, you see this bit right here where it's like, where is it here? This person says, you're making videos about people that you've never met. The irony
you're making a comment.
I've never met them
also
is
here's
lost.
The thing. Even greater than that, how many of these people have actually met Vic? How many of them have been in a room with him? How many of them are women that have been in a room from that he finds attractive? I mean, you can gauge a person pretty well if it's like, yeah, I find this person attractive, but I don't mind being in a room with them because I'm not going to be a weirdo. Have any of you all been in a room with Vic? And maybe he just has like a naturally creepy aura. Some people do. That's why they get cast as character actors in movies just to look creepy. Vic would do great in that. He would work great as like Hills Have Eyes, Michael Berryman replacement. But the irony of you showing up to someone else's channel who you've never met, commenting, defending a man you've never met and has never met you, or more than likely never met you, especially given now a lot of cons don't want them. And 99-cent bean dip. That's funny, Joe. And then on top of that, you haven't met Chesh, you haven't met Vic, and Chesh hasn't met you. So what value does your opinion have by that logic?
There's also like this degree of understanding the difference between meeting somebody who's creeping on you and meeting somebody that you idolize or somebody that you put on a pedestal who then utilizes that view that you have of them and takes advantage of that to creep on you, or meeting somebody just across the way. right? There's a big difference between meeting somebody on another side of the table, getting them to sign a thing, that's your interaction, the end. Meeting somebody. They're not talking about meeting. It's you don't know this person. That's one of Vic's argument, is like, they don't even know me. They don't know anything about me. So how could they possibly have criticisms of the things that I've done in public and said that I did? But a lot of people don't know Trump and criticize what he does. A lot of people don't know Biden and they criticize what he does. Go figure.
That's the perk of being a public figure. That's the perk of being a celebrity, no matter what level that is. Even that's the perk of being, well, if you don't want to call it a perk, of being a YouTube personality. There's that disconnect in what do you, it's on you, the fan, to be more hypervigilant of these things. If you see the person you are a fan of falling into all of these typical traps of the echo chambering with them, you as a fan, that includes the ones who don't do this kind of stuff.
Yep.
You have to say something. Hey, get out of the chat. That's not what we do here. Sorry, sir. We serve food here. This is like,
this is a Wendy's.
This is a Wendy's, sir. Like, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Get the fuck out. Like,
you can also go this. I understand. I have a little bit of not sympathy. What's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. I get it if you're a fan of Vic Mignogna and you do not want to speak out against his behavior or the behavior of these kinds of fans, because if you do, guess what happens? You get othered. You get othered and you get bullied and you get treated like shit. The same that they do to anybody else, and sometimes it's even more if these are people who you have become friends with over the years through your shared interest. It's very, very difficult. There are things you can do, and you can choose to do or not do those things, but you do have a degree of power. It might not be a lot, and it might not be very much on your own, but it is something.
Right.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I've got two things for you.
Oh God.
Because we love you here. I brought you a present.
we stand generic, so we try to trigger them.
So this is a video. Yes. So this is a video that was posted by Vicpocracy, which is kind of a funny name. I like that. And so this is from one of his streams recently, and I do have him sped up to 1.5 speed because he talks really, really slow, which is kind of part of his tactical presentation. Like, it's part of his rhetoric is to speak slowly and with infinite. But we're gonna skip that part. We're skipping that part because I don't care. Let me make sure that I got my audio on correctly. All right, so hopefully you guys can hear this. Let me know if you can't.
I was supposed to be doing a signing in Seattle, and I agreed to do that signing. Had a contract, and agreed to do it because the person who invited me assured me that they would not bow to any kind of pressure or the usual stuff. But that is 19 hours after. That's exactly what happened. Which is very disappointing.
19 hours. That's all it took. Record time.
Do you think that there's like somebody out there that's keeping track of how quickly Vic gets drops from projects or like events?
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a stat for everything. There's a quote in Basketball by Ernie Johnson. He's like, they keep track of how many miles you've run in a game. It doesn't matter. Put points up on the board. So somebody definitely tracks and stuff like that. He does. Clearly, 19 hours later, oh man, I'm all jazzed up, and you wake up at like midnight and you're like, oh. Like, look, he even wore his nighty set for his Right Said Fred video shoot with holes in it and everything. He looks like he's ready for a punk show.
Oh, he's going to a rave.
What troubles me the most about these things is that people who shouldn't be inserting themselves into another person's
That was a Freudian slip.
life or business or a contract.
Stick it.
For whatever reason that I can't quite figure out, they don't seem to care about you. It doesn't seem.
So just to be clear here, the you he's referring to is the fans. He's referring to his own fan base. That anybody who prevents him from doing it doesn't care about you, his fan base. It's a personal slight to you, his fan base, that he was dropped from an event.
He's gaslighting his fans. Sounds like extravagant. As he's going, yeah, if they don't let me at a show, I mean, you should feel personally attacked. You should feel victimized by the idea I am not at this event. That sounds like gaslighting to me. I don't know about you. You know, that sounds like gaslighting with extra steps.
Plus, the context of the people he's talking to are already up here. They're already calling this stuff extreme. They're already calling everything an attack. They're already at this level.
Right. They're already looking. You can see it right there in the chat already. Sorry to hear about that. Sending cuddles. And listen, I'm a grown man in his 30s. When I say sending cuddles, it's a cute thing to someone I'm dating as a joke, not to some fucking plastic man who looks like Tommy Wiseau to try to go into fucking legal hiding. What are we talking about? Like, people, grow up. Like, stop it. What happened? What do you mean what happened? It's the same thing that's been happening for years. Vic doesn't know how to shut his mouth.
He's also saying them, these people who are inserting themselves. Who are you talking about? Who's doing this? How do you know that?
Jared Juggernaut
Did the person who canceled you call and say, hey, these people contacted me and said this, that, and the other thing, therefore I cannot have you come to this event thing? Who was it? How do you know who it was? No, what it is it's inference. He's inferring exactly who it is, so that way his fan base, who know who he's talking about, will react accordingly.
Well, and then on top of that, it's like, you could just as easily give that at least a little bit. You don't have to obviously say who your friend is. Give a little bit of information. Because I almost guarantee that what actually happened was they put him on the list, said he was going to be there, and then a bunch of people who were already going to go were kind of like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with him being here.
Oh no, it gets better. He talks about this later. He hadn't even announced that he was going yet.
So there wasn't anybody saying anything because no one knew you were going to be there. So it's literally just all in your head. You got kicked out because that person, more than likely on their own, decided they didn't want the bad publicity because you're doing what you're doing right now. Not shutting up and talking on the internet. Just shut up. Shut the fuck up and stop talking. It's not hard, dude. Oh, listen. My guy, listen to me, okay? If you stop reminding people that you're trash, they forget you're trash, okay? I'm not good at basketball, dog. You know what I don't do? Go up to LeBron James in the middle of the street and be like, hey, I could beat you one-on-one, dog. Because then everyone will know I'm trash at basketball. I don't go up to some dude in AAU ball. I don't go up to a little kid, even though I know the fundamentals of the game more. I don't go up to a 17-year-old who's going to college for the end to try to get in the NBA and tell him that he can't hoop better than me. Like, you keep talking. Don't talk. Do. Actions speak louder than words. If you actually cared about like moving on with your life, you would show it in your actions. Your actions would be to stop talking about it. Stop bringing it up. If I shot a guy, even if it was in self-defense, if I kept talking about it like it was the hype shit, people would think I was a psychopath. Like, everything you do, everything you say, you have completely removing the base level concept of, if I don't talk about it, if I don't keep bringing it up, people tend to forget about it. There's a reason why people lose their memory. Like, you're a mess, homie. You need a PR person that is gonna slap you. That you need. You need Charlemagne the God. You need Chesh. You need a well-to-do smart person or a black person to slap you across your face every time you talk. You got kicked from this event because of some reason you don't even fully know. And yet you're talking about it as if you know. Oh, it's these people wanted me out. Sounds like the person just didn't want you because you do shit like this. You constantly, the second you got kicked from the event, 19 hours later, you're on stream talking about it.
Yeah.
You didn't even make it to 24 hours. You couldn't wait a day. Nope. You couldn't wait a day to get on. Oh, they kicked me from the event. You know the people who did it. Like, this is why you have these problems. This is why people will never let it die.
Cat Williams.
He needs Cat Williams. He absolutely does. He needs Cat Williams to be like, well, I think you're stupid. He needs. Yeah, well, that's the truth. He needs anything.
It's
anything.
A good impression.
It's not as good as he used to be, but still, he needs more
Jesus.
importantly, Jesus, yes, Jesus, my cousin Jesus, and more importantly, what he needs is to listen to his fans that aren't saying shit like this in the video, who aren't going, oh, you poor baby, you this is for people at home. This is the bad kid that is acting like he's listening and trying to get you to let him start interacting with other things. We all had that kid. You knew that kid in school who they break stuff and then they'd be like, I'm doing better, Mr. I had kid doing better. Okay, but you still can't help set up for lunchtime because I don't trust you. And when I do let you help, you do stuff like this. Yeah, I told you, hey, we're not gonna, can't kick you out because of any pressure. Doesn't have to be external pressure for someone to be like, I went on the internet for longer than 5 seconds because that's what happened to me and found out enough about you. Whether or not you thought this person was a friend, people still got to make money. And if they find out they're not going to make money and you're the reason for it, tough breaks, bro. That's the business. Yeah. You got to go.
There's a you'll even notice in this. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to see on the video, but there's somebody that says, an event Vic was signed onto got canceled because of, They all know what he's talking about.
Oh yeah, they're fully aware, and he can try to use all the coded language he wants, but it's you. You're the problem.
It's you. Hello, the call is coming from inside the house.
Seem to matter to them. Hello. That the fans, the paying attendees, if you will, the amici, who are the ones that make it possible for them to even have an event.
For anybody who doesn't know what the word amici is, if I'm not mistaken, is Italian. The word means friends, because Vic Mignogna likes to think of his fans as friends, which is toxic as fuck. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Ugh.
You guys understand that, right? There would be no SakuraCon if there weren't paying attendees. There would be no Anime Milwaukee.
There would still be one without you, though.
ASEN. There would be no fill in the blank. If it weren't
you
for
are not the con,
fans,
Vic.
The paying.
Vic, you are not the only person. I got bad news for you, dog. A lot of anime out there. You're not the only fish in town, dog. Like, there's a lot. I would love to meet the cast of Splice and that, or Parasite, and that anime is kind of mid, and I still like it. Like, you're not the only fish in town. You're not the only date out there. You, my friend, you once again are the problem. And
without Vic being there, these events are still happening. Go figure.
Yeah. I know. How weird. That's weird. This anime event showed up. We missed one anime person. Or I guess they made Japan made an entire video game without their lead actor being able to show up to events because he's an idol. Who are you, dude?
And if I'm not mistaken, Vic has not been doing voice acting for a good number of years now since Funimation dropped him. He's been working on very small or very little projects at all. So it's been years since he's been at events at any regular rate, and all of those events are still happening.
Right.
But no, everything is based around Vic. Only Vic matters. All of these things suffer if Vic is not there. Vic's niche fan base not coming is going to cost them so much money, as opposed to the potential lawsuits they could face if Vic does something like he has admitted that he did in the past at his events.
Also, he pointed out the fan, the paying fan, once again trying to trigger people by pointing it's tied to your money. They're stealing money from you because you paid to go and I'm not going to be there. Also, the ego. Because you can tell it's because he believes that his character makes said anime, because it's much greater than that. He's like, oh, if I don't go, then that means the Dragon Ball Z panel that's going to be there is short a key member. It's like, dude, you're some weird 40-year-old. You play a weird 40-year-old who apparently was so powerfully at object permanence to remember a crying baby and what that baby had looked like in 40 years. It's a dumb character. You're not that great. You played a blonde, annoying kid with one arm. Congratulations. Like, you're one guy. Like, that's it. And you don't get to claim like you're not the whole damn show. You're not a showstopper. You're Vic Mignogna. That's fine. You didn't get to go. That sucks. Move on.
Right.
Attendees. If you don't buy a ticket to go to these events, they can't put on the event. And yet, for some reason, I can't understand. There are voice actors out there who take it upon themselves when they see that I'm announced to do a signing. Now, I want to remind you, this is me by myself doing a signing at a store. There aren't other people there, other voice actors there. There isn't anybody who has to be near me.
So he wasn't even at an event. He wasn't even canceled for the event. He wasn't even invited in the first place. He just found a store nearby and probably called them up and was like, hey, can I come and do a signing at your store? And they went, yeah, sure. Who are you? I'm Vic Mignogna. Cool. Some people say some shit about me. I don't want to cause problems for you, so look out for that. Yeah, no problem. I don't fold the bullshit. Hangs up the phone. Yeah. Google searches Vic Mignogna. Oh, fuck that shit. You know what? Never mind, bro.
And Vic being the kind of sensitive person that he is, this was probably a one-off conversation, but he thought they were just the best of friends.
He thinks he's friends with everyone.
Yeah, he's friends with the world. He's like Mr. Steak from the Team 4-star Nuzlocke. You know, he's just friend of the world. But also, once again, he's pushing that, like, if you guys don't go, they don't make money. You're not, once again, not the only show in town, dog. There are other people that are going to be there. A massive amount more people. I've gone to horror movie conventions where there'll be like 100 people, and every, like, the entire cast of Day of the Dead and all these other, like, movies, and they just sign. It'd be like a couple hundred people. Anyone that doesn't show, no one cares. Like, it's like, oh, hey, Joe Pilato didn't show up. Cool. Who are you? You know, it's the multi-layered gaslighting is what is particularly. Also, this face is hilarious. Let me just
my pause game is always on point. My pause game is always on point. I pride myself, quite frankly. But now you see that he's specifying voice actors. How does Vic know this? This is one of these things that, like, people need to be cognizant of and ask questions about. If he's claiming these 4 or 5 people, these voice actors, go out of their way to when they find out that I'm doing the place, that they need to make sure that I don't go, how do you know that? Did the person who canceled you tell you that? And how did you verify that that was true? How do you know this? This is information that you ought not to have access to. Are they messaging you? Are the people who are canceling you sending you emails being like, it was me? Got him again.
Yeah, ripping a mask off and it's just Vince McMahon. It was me all along, Vic. It was me the whole time.
It's the Sting mask. You pull it up and it's Sting. So instead it's like Vic Mignogna's career is being ruined by this guy dressed up as Vic Mignogna, and you pull the face off and it's still Vic Mignogna.
But he's got makeup on underneath.
He's got some makeup on, yeah.
Me,
still got the Sting makeup on.
So terrifying. They don't even need to be there. They're not even going to be there. And yet they feel compelled to reach out to these store owners and tell them that if he brings me, they're not going to come to his store. Now, you know who gets lost in that little exchange? You. Does that voice actor not care? Or does he not think it is of any importance at all that there may be 100, 200, 300, 500 people who would really genuinely like to meet someone whose work they have enjoyed over the years?
That's a bold number that you just pulled out of your ass. You think that you being at a convention is going to pull 500 people that are solely going because you're there?
That's a lot of, dog. I know, like, good rappers who don't pull those kind of numbers in his concert. Like guys who sell albums don't pull 500 people into a little concert when they show up randomly to a store or something like that. Ego. You got to check it. That hot air, you got to peel it back. It's melting your face, friend. Dog.
That's why he doesn't have facial hair.
I mean, it's scorched right off. He's literally just taking that hot air brain right over the Fire Nation prison. Like, just sinking down lower and lower. Like, just, don't worry, it'll be fine. I got it. And then down. Also, yeah, where are you pulling your numbers from, dude? Like, where did you get 500? It's just a number you're throwing out because 500 seems like a lot, because that's probably how many are in your chat. And any one of those 500 people will be like, he's talking about me, because they're so attached to him. It's honestly, it's downright sickening that because no matter what, either one, he's completely reckless in the way he handles his fans. That's the only option. It's option A and B. He's completely reckless, or He's being completely malicious and manipulating people he knows are not smart enough to know they're being manipulated.
Well, they're people that he's already primed and has been priming them for years. So they're primed to already buy the bullshit, right? Intrigue Feline in the chat says, why is it that Vic is trying so hard to pull some emotional strings? It is basically an attempt at emotional blackmail. Yeah, well, what are people, because he's like, this is about you, and then they're doing this to me, but they don't care about you and they're doing this to me because they don't care about you, and if they cared about you, they wouldn't be doing this to me. And what are these people supposed to do for you? What are you inciting them to do for you? What you're implying is, or what you're stating, I should say, is actually for themselves. So what's the result of this, right? There's fewer than 150 people in his chat. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, and Mars Girl states in the chat that if we're talking about 2007 during peak Full Metal Alchemist, maybe 2004, maybe he could pull 500 people. Maybe. I would agree with that it's possible back in the day he might have been able to pull those numbers, but now he hasn't been in anything in ages, and stuff that he has been is looking at getting reworked. Like, if I'm not mistaken, he did the song, the English song for One Piece, if I'm not mistaken on that one, and that's getting re-released soon, and so thank God I'm not gonna have to listen to that thing anymore. Worst part of the show.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many people you pull, too, on top of that, because here's the thing, it's not about the number of people you pull, it's about the negativity you bring with you when you show up. Because
it's got too much baggage.
What you're doing, you have too much baggage, and then what you do is you put your baggage on public. Nothing's more embarrassing than being the guy who's getting kicked out by his girl in front of the neighbors, right? You're the one kicking yourself out in front of the neighbors and going, oh, my wife hates me because I cheated on her. It's like, well, you cheated on your wife, and you're the one throwing your clothes out on the street. So what? She just closed the door and told people, hey, he cheated on me. Like,
there is even if you give Vic the entire benefit of the doubt, and you're like, you know what, I don't believe he did anything, I don't believe he did anything wrong, I don't think he has ever taken any action at any con against any fan or anybody. Well, I don't believe he did anything wrong when it comes to other voice actors, blah, 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 blah. Fine. Okay, great. This is why he's not going to get invited to cons. This is why he's not going to get contracts from larger voice acting jobs, because he brings too much problem and negative PR with him wherever he goes, regardless.
Yeah, well, you cannot take away the value of the public relations, because guess what? Yeah, sure, you could probably sell. I'll give him 150, right? You could sell 150 tickets because Vic's going to show up. It's also likely you could lose out without people having to call in and say, hey, I'm not going to come in. Without even people having to call in. Maybe there was probably 5, 10, maybe 15 people. People are just going to be like, I don't want to I've never been to, I don't support Chick-fil-A. I've never been there. Chick-fil-A doesn't have to, like, I'm not calling to boycott them. I just don't go. There are going to be people who just won't go. So yeah, they may gain 150 people who show up because of you, but you're not accounting for how many people they could lose who don't want to be there. You have no clue, even if that person has been to a con that you've been in the past and you've had a negative interaction with them. Like, this goes back to the COVID thing from years ago of just like basic human consideration for other people. You are just so concerned about you and me, and they're gonna take away me from you, and you love me, and it's Susan Sarandon, and you like me, you really like me type. It's like, you're ridiculous.
Why is that voice actor's little virtue signaling opinion more important than the hundreds of you, thousands, tens of thousands of you all over?
No, he's definitely not virtue signaling. He's definitely not dog whistling right here. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, because you don't
who
virtue
would like
signal
to meet
like
and
this.
get a chance to interact with somebody who's working like. And if that's not enough, there are agents. Agents. This isn't even the talent, you guys. These are agents. You know what their job is? Their job is to get their clients work. That's the.
Why are you shitting on agents? Like they don't do real jobs and they don't matter.
Do you have Kobe's former agent? Because that's the only agent you should ever shit on because he's an asshole. But like, that's their job. Their job is to kind of be an asshole who sells you to people. You're property. You're You're a voice. You're not even your face. You being on stream right now, like you looking into the camera is not. No one cares about what your face looks like. Like, well, not you, Jeff, but well, people care about your face. They really care about your hair. But it's just shave it all off. It's this the age. What does the age have to do with it? Like it's once again more of this like virtue signaling. Like, oh, this person loses out on a job because I, the one and only Vic Mignogna, is not going to be allowed to go to an event. Nobody else is getting kicked from these events. You dip. Like nobody else. We didn't hear about a single. It's just you. The entire world hates you. Might be like if you live in a town where 500 people hate you and you don't look like me and live in a town full of people that look like Chesh, you probably have a reason to be hated. It's like I'm much bigger and scarier than a town full of Cheshes. That makes sense that I would be
only if you don't know us.
Only if I don't know. Yeah, if I went up around in a town of Cheshes hugging them, yeah, there's probably a reason why I shouldn't be there. But you're the only person in this list that can't show up to this little store. Anybody else could. I bet you I could call that store right now and be like, hey, yeah, I make YouTube videos. Can I show up and do a signing? And no one to say anything.
That'd be really funny. The thing is too, is like he's reaching. And the thing that caught my attention was this dismissive tone. Oh, they're just agents. They're not even the talent. Like the talent is somehow better than the agents, which guess what's that is in line with? It's 100% in line with what people claim his attitude is when he shows up at these events and talks shit to the staff.
Right.
Oh no, it's Vic Mignogna telling on himself if you pay close enough attention. The words he said, no.
No.
Can't be.
The words he said don't exist. He's saying them right now and no one's going to get to this part of the video. That's the thing. None of his fans are going to hear this part, you know?
No, we're way too far into this.
Their only job. Their job is not to bully store owners. Their job is not to threaten people who want to put on an event and want to offer something to people that would like to come and be a part of it.
Implying that other voice actors' agents are doing dirty work for them. Okay, with what evidence? Zero? None? Got it.
Their job is merely to get gigs for their clients. And yet, 2 or 3 agents have their little social justice opinions that has nothing to do with their job. And they
oh no, people have opinions. How dare they?
No, how dare they have opinions about social justice or opinions that are considered classed as social justice? That sentence doesn't work. What does that have to do with anything? So what if you believe in social justice? They could just be like, I believe that black people should be treated equal. That doesn't mean they want to kick you out of the con. Like that could be anything. That's such a blanket statement. Just because you say it, that's like being like, if I were to talk about you or Manya, I'd be like feminist. It's like, you're just trying to say a thing that's really not that bad. Like it's a bad thing because there are some semi-annoying people in that group. That's it. Just say, hey, there's a couple like feminists or there's a couple debate bros I don't like. I don't think
I have
debating
no idea
is
which
necessarily
store it was. Sorry, somebody was just asking which store it was. No clue.
He won't say, because if he would say, people could go and ask that store owner, and that store owner would be like, yeah, I looked him up on the internet, and dude's a fucking sex pervert. Like it could be anything. It could be like, this dude's weird. He smelled weird. He looked weird. I don't know. Anyone could.
There's actually no evidence that any store was actually going to host him. He presents nothing. The whole thing could be a fucking lie for all we know.
Yeah.
It's all just made up.
I'm not going to yeah, and I'm not going to tell him he's got to show the contract that he had with them. But I would say if they had a contract with you and they broke it, that'd be about a time to go to court.
Yeah, why are you
people
here?
Said you were why are you talking about it on the internet? You might want to go to court because they violated. Did they not pay you? He didn't get in any specifics. They violated by just not allowing him to come. Like, what was the stipulations of it? Most people, when you have a contract, you kind of know the jargon of it and ways to talk about it without, giving away details. It sounds like it didn't exist. It sounds like it's made up in your brain, buddy.
Until I've been given evidence to the contrary, I choose to believe it was a gas station with a comic book rack. April from the chat.
Contact these people who are just trying to do a good thing for you.
For you.
And basically threaten them.
Are you just gonna completely... He's just gonna completely just breeze by that the bookstore and the convention have contracts with people to come in, and like they benefit off of each other. It's a mutually beneficial thing. They're not like, oh, we're just altruistically just doing these things for fans. The fans pay money, which is the thing you already brought up, which means the store gets money for Vic being there because the fans that are there either pay like an entry fee or buy stuff while they're there to promote their shit, yada yada yada.
Right.
Like no, that's not how the world works. This is a business. And you can't say that you don't believe it's a business because you claim that this is business and your job that's being affected.
Also, like, he's claiming broken contracts. That's a pretty big business deal. Like,
right.
I don't know about you, but when you got a contract, those usually are pretty ironclad. You suck at contract negotiating. He's probably his own contract negotiator, probably his own agent, because he's sitting here downplaying agents and their importance. Shout out to Vigor in the chat, misinforming the scope of his fan base about the scope of an agent's job, and making it seem like, oh, the agent's job is just to get me, the talent there, and that's all you should care about is me, Mr. Talent over here. And it's like, okay, well, now you can't go. So what? Saying that agents are just the people that get you there is like, that's not nearly what the scope. They have to call people and set things up, and it's a complex job. You just show up and do a couple voices and talk to people who just tell you how great you are, and you're lost.
I mean, one of the comments here even says it's people like them that makes it. Sorry, he doesn't say that. That'd be too English. It's people like them makes it hard for good people like you. Yeah, it's everybody else.
Also, hold
on 1 second. There is this person, this Eevee fangirl, which, first off, take that shit out of your name. Eevee is a great Pokemon. You don't deserve it. I'm sick of these jerks in other states gatekeeping us in other states, especially here in Washington State, from allowing him to come. You live in a different state. Shut up. Yours. It's not first off, it's not a state thing. Why are you commenting that? And this is what I'm talking about. This is the thing that we're talking about here. You're commenting on state legislation, and you don't even live in a state. There is no state legislation keeping Vic Mignogna from showing up to. There's laws. There's basic human decency. There's the fact that he's kind of weird. He's kind of really bad for PR because he constantly does stuff like go on the internet and have people like you named Eevee fangirl besmirching Eevee's beautiful trump card using name, and saying things like other states are gatekeeping me from seeing him, even though you live in Washington. You live in Washington, dog. And honestly, you probably ain't never been nowhere else. As somebody from the North, you ain't been nowhere else, bro. Like, whoever you are, Eevee fangirl, you ain't been out, touch grass, bro. You ain't been outside. You ain't hoop. You ain't been on the court.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is what the Civil War was fought over.
Yes, which is the best
We're
evolution.
Flying the Confederate flag for Vic Mignogna.
No, they were. I bet this person is not even
states'
a fan.
rights.
I bet they're like states' right. Yes, they were. Yeah, the drummer and drum and fifer going down. During that, it's all for Vic. He's the most important thing. And look how they treat him though. Look how they treat them. Like, oh, I'm sick of these non-specific people barring you out of a state. The government. It's the government trying to get in on Vic not being here.
Yep.
If you bring him, my clients aren't going to come and sign at your store. I have a great question. Why?
Yeah, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we here?
Why? Once again, who is overlooked in this scenario? You.
Nobody.
All of you. You consider the anime industry.
The people who are fans of Vic Mignogna are they are only fans of Vic Mignogna and nobody else.
Okay, let's consider the anime industry. The anime industry is 0.01 agents. Maybe 5%, 4% voice actors.
What?
And then 96% you.
No.
The people that love the work.
Fuck the engineers, fuck the script writers, fuck anybody who does any kind of like translation, fuck the manga artists, fuck the animators.
Right. What are you talking about? The fans are a small, you could give fans like 20%. What the fuck? What about the people who just do storyboard art? Like, that's a decent chunk of it. This is how we want the story to flow. What?
Oh God! He
nothing
said
else
the anime
matters.
he said the anime
industry.
industry.
Yeah.
I think he's
The
been out of the
entire
anime industry for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've upgraded. Now we got storyboard artists and computer artists. Yeah, we oh shit's cool now. Shit's cool since
Streaming
you left. 'Cause it's all about you.
services.
Yeah, we got Crunchyroll. You ever heard of Crunchyroll? That's all right, Like, what are you talking about? You're an
people
idiot.
that pay to have these events put on. And yet, these 6 or 7 or 10, let's be generous, 10, 15 people that go out of their way to try to keep me from being somewhere that they're not even going to be.
Nobody has to go out of their way.
It doesn't hurt them. It's not going to cost them anything. They're just keeping you from enjoying something that you want to enjoy.
So now, yeah, see, like I said, it's all about, like, he's trying to gaslight his audience into thinking his audience is being attacked because he's not showing up to an event. And it's all these nebulous people that everybody in the chat is filling in immediately in their head who he's talking about because he's been doing this for years and priming them to know exactly who he's talking about.
Yeah, it's all there scrolling up on the side of the screen of people just being like, they did this and they did that. There's no one specific, but also listen to his words there of him, because everything is always projection with Vic.
And
they
again,
want to stop you from enjoying what you want to do.
And Marsco's got a point in the chat too, right?
Oh.
She's saying, we didn't know about this event. Yeah, Vic hadn't announced it.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't the convention. So it wasn't like any voice actors or anybody or agents who were going to go to that event knew that Vic was going to be at a store nearby doing an entirely different unassociated event.
No, I can tell you exactly what happened. He did something like this, went on a stream and was like, well, they won't let me out the convention, but I'm going to be at this storefront and they've assured me that they're going to let me there.
He hadn't announced it yet. He says that he hadn't said anything yet. Yeah.
So if he hadn't said anything at all, then that means he's just lying, because you can't have information that doesn't exist. I'm sitting there thinking maybe he did a stream or something about it. Maybe he just didn't announce it like on Twitter. If you didn't say it at all, dog, you're just lying. Why you gotta tell a lie? Why? Can you please tell me you have the "why you lying" thing set up?
I do not. Okay, I do not have that one set up because it gets copyright struck every fucking time.
It's a completely original song.
Here, I got this one instead.
This guy is unfucking believable.
Absolutely.
Or how about this one? Is this one better?
You lie! You lie!
There you go.
Yo, like, you can't get banned from something by other people talking about something you don't. So I assume maybe he talked about it in a stream, and then like people knew he was coming, and then they said something about it. Like maybe just someone floated into his chat.
That makes too much sense.
Oh God! All right, let's keep because
I heard that there were people that were going to be flying. They were literally looking at flights and were going to be flying down to Seattle for that event in February. I was told that I should let you guys know the truth of what happened, and that's what happened.
Oh yeah,
by who? I'm going to tell you
who?
something else. It is a crime.
God.
It is a crime. It's called tortious interference. You're not allowed by law to interject into somebody's
Actually, stop. Please stop.
Yes.
It can't be tortious interference if no one knows about it. How can you even if? Once again, his opinion, his definition of tortious interference that people keep spewing is wrong. By the way,
I did a video about it 8 months ago. If you want to go watch it,
and yes, please do. Well, actually, I won't even say please do. Just watch it. Can we get past that hurdle? Secondly, you cannot have tortious interference in a situation where nobody would be talking about something or preventing you from getting a job they don't know you have. Also, you already had it, and the person who gave it to you is the one who took it away. Was that person like in a mirror going, I really shouldn't have Vic at this convention? Yeah, I agree. You're right. You shouldn't have Vic at this event. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to kick him out. Tortious interference. Dog. You are cracked in the noggin. You're creating tortious interference against yourself by imaginary people or potentially a person who just looked you up on the internet and thought you were a weirdo.
Yep.
Agreement.
I agree with that.
And yet, these people do it anyway because they suffer no real consequences. Now, I'm not really sure what's going to come of this industry. It's very, very different than
Of the industry. The whole anime industry is gonna come down because Vic didn't go to an event. It's apocalyptic. No more anime for everybody. It's not like anime and the industry has been growing rapidly since he's been gone.
Yeah, I know. Weird. That's weird.
Bro, you are not an insider anymore.
Yeah, it's you're not part of the cool kids table anymore. You were kicked out. Like, Regina can have her own new group, but she's not hanging out with Lindsay Lohan anymore. I'm sorry. It's just not friends, dog.
when I started.
It's
When I started in the anime industry, it was
150
fun.
years ago.
It was
It was fun.
friendly and lighthearted and full of energy and enthusiasm.
It's definitely not anymore.
And now,
No,
over the last
not.
several years, it just has become more and more everyone with their political opinions and their ideas about this and their attitudes about this and they're taking offense at that and pushing.
Do you think that maybe the reason that you view the anime community this way is because that's the part of the anime community you're choosing to engage with?
Oh, what? Onus on his own actions? No.
The
can't do it.
call is coming from inside the house.
Their agenda here, instead of just doing their job, being grateful that they even have the opportunity to do such a job.
Oh, be
And leave
grateful.
people
You could also
Leave
be
other
the
people
same.
alone.
Yep.
You could also do the same.
I
Yep.
wanted to share that with you because that's what
What did you
happened.
share with yourself?
I'm very disappointed because I was looking forward to seeing a lot of you and a lot of the people that live out in that area that I've seen over the years at SakuraCon and some of the other events out in that area.
It's that personal relationship.
But-
They're his friends.
What troubles me the most is that
Best friends.
Uh-huh.
you guys represent 96, 97%, probably more, of
Nobody
the anime
mixes the sound on
industry.
the anime.
And
you,
yet-
the whole
you, my fans, represent 96 to 97% of the anime industry.
All of you right now in Chesh's chat, you represent easily 96.25% of all Debate Bro YouTubes, even though Chesh isn't a Debate Bro YouTube. You, Chesh's fans, Chesh's little gaboos, you make up 152.78% of fizzy lifting drink.
Wonka vision.
Yet a tiny handful of
Wonka is
people with a
10%
tiny little bit of
perspiration.
influence or,
I've heard that it was 10% luck, 20% skill.
you know,
You, Chesh's
desperate,
fan
you know,
base, represent Fort Minor.
need to interject themselves into other people's business are driving this negativity and this stuff right now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, sure.
So
Citation needed.
Tell
I
Elmo.
want to let you know.
Where?
I just wanted to let you guys know that. Nobody can give me a good explanation. Anybody that I ever talked to, including the gentleman that canceled me after being so excited to have me at his store in Seattle and assured
So you're berating him on a stream that he may or may not be watching to your fan base that makes up 97% of the anime community, and you think that's a reasonable and responsible thing to do?
Of
Why?
course. He's got the power of I imagine Vic thinks his fan base is like the enemies in Dynasty Wars, just like 1,000 soldiers fighting one big dude. It's just like, yeah, go out there and fuck up that store owner in Seattle. He'd probably get into specifics about where the store is just because he's a weirdo, or at least generic. Like, oh Jesus Christ, I saw my own name while I was saying generic. Like a generic area, like circumference where it's at, because he's that weirdly malicious.
Right.
Yeah, you. Stop. Once again, 97%. Like, there's not other people. You said industry, not like you represent 97. The people who are fans of me represent 97% of the fans of Full Metal Alchemist. You represent 97%. I could even though it's not fucking true at all, represent 50% of the fans of Dragon Ball Z are all fans of Broly. Okay, fine, not even close. That the delusions, like this deity standing you have in your head, dude.
Sorry, I got caught. Alex got me. He's got the power of God and anime on his side.
Hey,
me
that's
that
a
he
dangerous
was
power.
not going to bend to any of this negativity.
bend the
Even told me
knee.
that while he got a handful of negative comments, that the positive comments outweighed him 30-1. 30-1, guys.
Then why did you get
30-1.
canceled?
And I didn't even announce it yet. I hadn't even announced
See?
it myself yet.
I didn't announce it.
Okay, so
But
did
for
he
whatever
do it?
reason, these conventions and even some of the stores, for some reason I cannot understand.
So somebody else announced it, and that word got out? How did that person know about it? Was it the store owner? Did you just basically out the store owner for telling you were going to be there, so now all of your fans know exactly where to find that person?
Weird. It's almost like you do
Weird.
it on purpose.
Pon Papas.
Completely overlook you. They completely overlook you, the customer, the paying attendee. I'm not sure.
Stop you right there. In customer service, you
what's
call
the-
them clients. It makes them feel more valid. Just throwing that out there as a former bank worker, you call them clients.
Well, see, that's the that's the sad thing.
Help 'em with that PR.
Mojo. Mojo says just mob mentality. It's a very small mob. It is a very, very small mob. And
Where's a mirror? Where is a fucking mirror? Where is it? Where is my high-powered mirror of perception? I think it's in my bag of holding. What the hell is wrong with you, dog? And the person in the chat who said that mob mentality, as you show up in your small mobs to constantly, you're here in a mob right now, jerking them off. What are you talking? All right.
I get this. This has to do with. I recommend if anybody's got time or is interested about this. I had a discussion or a presentation or a talk, a lecture, a TED talk, if you will, on my channel the other day live that was talking about niche and harassment that happens and bullying that happens in niche areas on the internet. Because Vic Mignogna, like it or not, is a niche. Anime overall, as big as it is on the internet, is still not that big. Being a voice actor doesn't, you're not Ryan Reynolds, you know what I mean? You're not gonna get recognized on the street by the majority of people, right? You are a niche, and Vic Mignogna's fan base is a niche within a niche within a niche. Not only are they not your anime fans into voice act, like into character or specific anime fans of specific anime, into even smaller of fans of this particular voice actor.
You are alt-right fans who are fans of ska, but specifically the Big Bad Voodoo Daddies. Like you're
right. And so it's gonna
multi-layered.
feel like this is very, very important because it's very, very important to everybody in your niche. But your niche still has to like work within the bounds of the niche that it is inside. It's like a nesting doll. So you still have to listen to mommy.
Yeah. If the tiny nesting doll and the inside of the bigger ones is slightly too big, nesting doll don't work normal. You just got a broken piece of garbage.
I think I did say Final Fantasy VII was a niche. I will correct myself. Final Fantasy VII, the game, is a niche. Tifa is an international, like, fucking wonder of the world. Especially after she showed up, what was that, the Italian Prime Minister or Parliament?
Yeah, weird. I was never super into Final Fantasy, so that was weird and jarring and for me because my favorite ones are not those ones.
Yeah.
and there are so many more good people out there, and yet nobody seems to ever take a stand.
Nobody cares.
For the fans. The Amici.
I'm not afraid.
The Amici. The Amici. The friends. You people are my friends. We're like family. That is not how that works. That is toxic as fuck. Because the power
also,
dynamic is not what friends do. Friends treat each other as equals. Vic Mignogna does not treat his fan base as equals.
Also, the just very subtle use of Italian and the mob mentality does not go by my, like, grew up in New York City with the Italian aunt ears. Like, I know exactly, like, you could throw all the, like, fugazi and whatever over it, but you're specifically using terminology that is we're the familia, and it's like, okay, well, now you're putting a ton of implication on it that you have to defend me. We're family. I think of you as family, and I would defend you with my life. And it's like, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Ironically, most of these people know he doesn't know who they are.
The Vin Diesel family. Like, it's one of those situations where it's like, go to a bar. Go outside of your house, go to a bar, and go bring this topic up to somebody in the bar, and watch, like, the looks that you fucking get of, like, who the fuck are you talking? What are you talking about? You're a niche. People don't know about this stuff. And you talking about it to everyone everywhere only lets people know about the bad parts about Vic Mignogna.
I am the living proof of that. I did not know his name. I am a fan of work he's done. Yet when I go to look him up, he's making videos like this in his "I'm too sexy for my shirt" and talking about how he's the biggest victim on the face of the planet.
And he's doing that little wiggle too.
He's doing his dance, his little turn on the catwalk. I get it. You're pretty, but like it's the same thing. You have to pull yourself back for a little bit, because this is something Vic in his stands and his fans can't do. You pull yourself back in the scope of reality, like you said. If you go outside and you talk about Vic Mignogna by name, there are things that are popular on the internet that if you walked up to someone, look, remember how big Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth was? There are people who just like don't know any of the old bits from back in the day. They don't know Waffalo. They don't know like, hey, we're all friends love each other. Like, they don't know that stuff. Yeah, like there's people who watch Markiplier and don't know offhand who Worcestershire stash is, because it was something Mark did a lot more back in the day. There are people who don't know. I didn't know what the hell Unis Honest was. Yeah, Warstash, thank you. I didn't know what Unis Honest was until I found out it was over, and I watched Markiplier.
Right.
So,
how often do they bring up Distractable, and people are still like, Bob and Wade and Mark should do more stuff together.
Yeah, and it's like they do a lot.
And they're like, hello?
The customers.
You guys should have a podcast.
So I apologize. Well, exactly, Ghost. That's how I feel.
What did Ghost say? Ghost said, we all want to meet you, and you want to meet us. Apparently they just have their own language, because he seemed to understand that.
Yeah, he has a Mongoloid to English dictionary. He keeps it tucked in that shirt there. What do you think the holes are for him to sneak peeks at it when he uses the translator?
He's got his lines written on his...
Yeah, he's just like, yes, I agree. Yes. Just look it down.
There will be events that I will be at.
Will there?
And I hope to get to meet you
sure?
if I haven't had the chance, or even if I have. I hope to get to see you at one of those. And I can only hope
the kibosh on it.
That there are more
there it is. I was just about to
people
say,
out there.
He's going to put the kibosh of, they might not let me go, though, because I'm such a radicalist, and da-da-da. And, I hope
against
people
the
care
system.
Enough. Yeah, fighting the man. Fight the power. Yeah, you're Flavor, all right. And you're Public Enemy, you fucking piece of shit.
Owners and organizers that...
I'm Public Enemy number 1. That's why I'm in hiding.
In the majority.
Much more with my stream weekly.
Interested in their paying attendees.
My weekly stream. No one wants
Hi, I'm the Zodiac Killer. Welcome to my live stream where we're gonna play Dead by Daylight.
Then
it's like
a couple of agents, and a couple of voice actors.
He likes to claim who this is. By the way, I put this video in the chats for anybody who wants to watch it. Feel free to go check it out for yourselves. I'll link it in the description below as well. Again, this came from Vicpocracy, and I think I'm gonna have to look at a couple more to see if they've got anything else. But in the meantime, this person has this is I could be wrong, but I believe this is that same person who had that video on YouTube. This is their Twitter account. But they have a whole slew of videos here, but this is one of Vic Mignogna's fans. He's been talked about in my comment section, and I just wanted to show you guys this little clip show of this guy. This guy's his name is Met something or another, because he's a baseball fan. But
and he's a Mets fan. I just was about to type in chat how I'm from New York City, and the number one thing is the only people who like the Mets are racist white people in New York City. Throwing that out there.
Oh, damn. Right. Spoiler alert.
Jamie, you can say you have a vagina and we have to deal with it.
What a way to start.
How about allow yourself to get King Kong shoved up your fucking ass, bitch?
Okay, first off, I need to give a quick biology lesson. Vaginas and asses are not the same thing. Just to be clear. So
no, he thinks women have cloacas. That's what he thinks. He thinks women have cloacas. He's never touched a woman, Chesh. He's never seen a girl before. He's got his good boy certificate from his mommy right there in the background, sitting on his bookshelf full of what looks like chibi Arcana Heart anime or manga. So he's a special boy. He left his helmet at home.
He's out here. He's out here talking about King Kong. I'm curious
Talking
about
about
if there's a racist connotation in that, but I don't know.
I doubt it. I'm gonna say this guy's not even smart enough to know that that's a racist thing.
Okay, fair enough. I'm on board with that.
Oh my god.
Why not admit to your depravities? Or better yet, how about this? GalaxyCon Raleigh's about 6 months from now. So why not you let Vic in, although he would need a ticket to get in, and he and I face you and Mars Girl in a tag team match. Stipulation
Oh no!
is my choosing.
Oh
my
no!
choice.
He's highly regarded. He thinks wrestling's real. He's talking about fighting in tag matches. Even Egghead doesn't talk about this. Egghead knows they're not real. You're regarded. You're highly regarded. You're the most regarded I've ever seen in my entire life. You think wrestling is real? I have a cousin who has Down syndrome. He thinks wrestling is real. Oh my god! I feel bad. I can't critique you now, but you're like one of my students. I feel bad for you. Also, his mom is clearly sleeping in that room behind him there, and that's why he's kind of quiet about it.
There is nothing that amuses me more than somebody being like, hey, let us come to this convention that we're not allowed to go to so we can fight you.
Hey, it says it above the name.
Get in the octagon. Let's go.
Generic minority fight me. Hey, bro, I'll fight you. If that's the case, if I pay for my ticket to go out there, I'll fight you. I'll fight you and Vic at the same time. If you're looking for a fight, dog, I'll give you a fight. I know a couple people that fight you too.
Do you want to tag team with me? I'll sit on your shoulders. Go.
Yeah, and this dude, he won't be able to follow that. He'll just think I have 4 arms. Like, that's just too much for him. I think I have 4 arms and a pretty face. Oh my god. This is the most beautiful biracial beatdown I've ever gotten in my entire life.
He's gonna think they're gonna view us as an anime villain that just has a face for a chest.
Yeah, we're gluttony. We just have like a tiny baby head and then giant arms.
Oh, the reason why he's bringing up wrestling is Mars Girl is saying that he's messed up because I actually went to San Antonio Bros for a tiny bit of wrestling training, so he has no idea what he suggested. I've got photo evidence of everything. So, like, if he's serious, Mars Girl's taking him up on the offer.
Oh my god!
Oh
no! You can't come in, and then also, what a special haircut you have. Definitely done.
Oh, the hair.
Yeah, the hair. That hair screams
I know the feel.
out.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
No. You don't have wrestling hair. You have at worst quote unquote hipster hair. But that's some. If you saw him at a wrestling event and like it was like I've been there. I used to watch wrestling. If you saw him at an event and like Rey Mysterio was about to get his mask ripped off, that guy would be pissed about it for real. We know damn well Rey Mysterio is not losing his mask, but that dude right there would be pissed. Like it's real. It's still real.
Mars Girl is correcting me. That's not why he's saying it. She doesn't know why he's saying it. I was putting 1 and 2 together. Sorry, my mistake. That's hilarious, though. Okay, let's keep going.
He's got no chance.
And the match is buried alive. How you gonna like it when not only are you put in a grave, but Mars Girl is put in a grave? And then
in a grave,
take a shovel, take shovels and wheelbarrows full of dirt, and dump them on your fucking corpses. And then
you can't be a corpse and be buried alive at the same time, dumbass.
Also, it's a buried alive match. You don't die. You get knocked out and then thrown in the casket. And they also don't take shovels to bury you and say, actually, no, stop. We got to talk about wrestling because I watched wrestling for years. I didn't get bullied all those years for this dude to fuck this up. Listen up, Chief. You don't kill anyone in a buried alive match. You're not the Undertaker. It's not real. All right? Now, grow up. All right, stop being stupid. Touch some grass. And also, learn the mechanics of the match. There's a truck that sits on the side. You pull the chain on it. It drops dirt on them. You stand on top of the dirt, and then you look cool. You don't even know anything about the match itself. You just want to hurt some women, and you're a weirdo. That's all it is. You're a fucking weirdo who wants to hurt women, and you think hurting them in a wrestling match will validate you. You are a tiny man. Continue.
Generic minority doesn't know what I'm about to show him after this.
I swear to God, if
your
it's a
bodies are
wrestling
fully
match.
covered and you're 6 feet under,
Oh.
gasping for breath.
He's cutting his promo. The power of the blood.
He's into this.
And mud get
He's
into
the Ultimate
your
Warrior.
throats.
Look, he's doing the thing.
Block up your stomach. Clog up your stomachs. Clog up your lungs.
He's eating dirt.
with no way to
Mars girl, stop
escape.
eating dirt off the ground. No escape. He's going full Randy Orton.
Scene. Or better yet,
Ooh.
we make it a casket match.
A little emotion there.
And we'll get a double wide
Okay,
casket.
Casket match. You don't kill people in casket matches. Oh my God.
What, you mean wrestling?
put 'em in the-
People don't literally actually die in wrestling matches?
Also, once again, he's naming a match where in order to win, all you have to do is throw someone in a box and close it. That's it. So he's not even understanding the wrestling.
No.
And when I lock that when we lock that casket,
We.
Oh, now it's we. The royal we.
all
It's
the
him and
things
Vic.
I can do to the two of you.
Oh yeah.
Beat me.
What can you do to them after you have them locked in a box? You can't do anything to them unless what are you gonna shake it around? You're gonna put it in
I
a
was
paint
just about
shaker?
to say, you shake it like a hamster in a box. You're just like the little girl in Finding Nemo who shakes all the fish in the bag.
Oh,
He seems
no.
kind of similar, honestly.
I don't want to say what I do if I lock that damn thing. The two.
No. What do you mean you don't want to say
What-
what you do? You just said that you
Yeah.
would bury their bodies in a wrestling match. So automatically, just an off jump, you're like, I'm going to kill these people in this fake fight and bury them alive. Bury their corpses alive? What? Anyway, that's
Yes.
some serpent in the rainbow shit where you come back and they put the Rosham on your head. And then
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want to say what I would do to them while you're cutting your Triple H.
Hey, welcome. This is the Ultimate Warrior. I'm gonna fight you, Hulk Hogan. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna slap you in half, Hulk Hogan.
Macho man who can jump so high with the elbow. Watch him fly, macho man. Yeah, you're macho manning over here, and thinking you're the mega powers, dog. You have that to grasp reality, the concept.
And he
of the
thinks that
matches
people
you're
would
talking
just
about.
allow this to happen at a convention.
I mean, even at a wrestling. I'm sorry, his Amici. Mars go, that's funny.
Michi. Oh.
But yeah, like you said though, like he's thinking that someone, even if you were at like a small wrestling event, like ain't nobody letting you in the ring, dog. Like, what do you think? You don't just get to sanction
No.
wrestling matches because you know how hard it is. I know people in the area where I live at who have wrestling rings in their backyard. You know how hard that shit is to set up, to have wrestling. It needs to be cemented into the ground or it'll shift and fall over you, idiot. You don't have the mental capacity to do that. And who's doing that for you to just get beat up by Mars Girl and whoever else because you don't know what you're doing? You be in the corner chewing on the rope. Like, that's what you'd be doing.
He wouldn't be able to get into the ring. The rubber is too hard for him to figure out how to get through.
I mean, you gotta.
Doesn't have the physical
crouch down.
dexterity to get
No,
between.
yeah, he's never picked his leg up other than to like push it when it goes numb while he's sitting in the chair all day at the computer.
I will point out that Vic Mignogna has pointed out that he has since deleted this video as he got pushed back. So, that's good. That's a start. That's something.
Yeah, maybe step 2: never make another video again, or I will cook you, like metaphorically, like the rap way, the brown people way. Fry you up with jokes.
Okay,
I've
I've got one more thing to show you, but I'm gonna hide the screen so you don't see it coming.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you saying you don't worry about it makes me worry about it.
Yeah, good. Good. Where is it? Let me find it. Hold on.
See, people are like, how come you're not on the show more? And it's like, this is what Chesh does to me when I show up.
So just to point out who this person is, because that seemed kind of random. He was just like, me and Vic are gonna beat these people up and meet up with them if they let us in. If they give us permission.
Oh no! Don't tell me he's like friends with Jared.
No. Although that would be really amusing. That would be too funny. That would have been too much. I don't think I would have been able to keep that from you. No. Here's a bunch of streams where Vic hosted this guy.
Luffy always calls in and...
This I had to go through a bit of pain to get.
What is that? Is it a challenge coin?
Yeah, compliments of... I'm now a coin-carrying member of Sergeant Slaughter's Cobra Clutch Club.
Oh, cool.
You didn't even pick a cool wrestler to like, you loser.
What platform do you like to watch videos on?
Simply put, YouTube, because I usually stream on there. Granted, most of my streams are not very positive because when it comes to what's involved to you, it's basically become clear that those who have been basically keeping you out have not been doing it for the reasons they claim. It's all about them just clout chasing, and in doing that, they've been aiding and abetting a certain company in larger cover-ups of the same crimes you were accused of.
Well, you know what? I don't want to bring that kind of stuff into the into our live stream. No. Listen, I want to say something. Let me say something, bro. I really appreciate
let me say
your
something, bro.
friendship and your support. But you know what?
No.
I wonder why this guy thinks he's friends with Vic.
I really appreciate your friendship and support. I appreciate your support of me as a fan. Also, oh god, this fucking pause. Excuse me while I get my Giazzo out again.
I told you my pause game. On point.
Listen. I never mind. I'll keep that joke to myself. Also, Vic, you missed the key point, which was that making these false accusations is something your fans shouldn't be doing because they have no proof of it. Saying there's a big conspiracy and that other people have been accused of the same crimes as him, and him clearly, like, you can hear him getting mad. Like, you can hear him becoming more aggressive. Like, it's the uptick in voice. Also, his inability to look at the camera is a sign of a couple other things, but I'm not here to diagnose anyone because I'm technically not a doctor. I just know autism and the spectrum of it when I see it. But sure, whatever. Also, you have a chance right here. This is what I'm talking about with Vic. This is his opportunity right here and now to reinforce that idea that you should not be outwardly malicious. You hear a fan, whatever, even if you want to call your fans your friends. I don't care. If you're delusional enough to believe some internet personality you've never met directly is your friend, okay. I think Chesh and I are cool. We're not friends. We're acquaintances at best. Like, I've been on Chesh's channel like 5 times now. Chesh and I aren't friends. We never met each other. We never had an extended conversation about anything more than what we talk about on the show. I'm not a delusional nutbag. Chesh still would not be like, Chesh was like, don't say this on the show because it might look like those are normal things for a content creator to do, a personality to do. And you have it right here. If I just started going crazy, showing out some like the earth is flat, Kyrie Irving type bull, right? Or something like that, Chesh would check me immediately. And you have yet to check this dude. You just like,
even if he goes on after this to say like, hey, we don't like that kind of toxicity, blah blah blah, as soon as he started the sentence with I appreciate you, you've already fucked it up. Well, you should be saying, you're not saying, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, I don't want to like get toxic on this. No, you should be saying, you need to stop. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't like that this takes over my streams, and it shouldn't take over your channel either. That's problematic. Stop doing that. Control your own stream.
He can't do it. He doesn't care to.
Yeah.
With these people.
He's encouraging it. Listen.
It comes to what's involved to you.
Listen to what he says.
It's basically become clear that those who have been basically keeping you out have not been doing it for the reasons they claim. It's all about them just clout chasing, and in doing that, they've been aiding and abetting a certain company in larger cover-ups of the same crimes you were accused of.
Well, you know what? I don't want to bring that kind of stuff into the into our live stream. No. Listen, I want to say something. Let me say something, bro. I really appreciate your friendship and your support.
Appreciation.
But you know what?
Calling it calling
friendship.
the attacks and the contact is friendship and support. All right, continue. But you know what?
No rationalizing with these
There's
people.
no rationalizing with these people.
They are not good people. They are not kind. They are not reasonable or rational. And there's really nothing to be done except hope that the event organizers one day in the future, I mean, it's going on 5 years now.
You hit
this
5
garbage happened.
projection.
And all we can do is continue to ask and request and hope that eventually they'll they'll let me come back because they care about what their attendees want instead of what a couple of malcontents want.
Hey, Vic, they do. They care about their attendees that don't want you. Weird. There's a lot more of them than the ones that do. Luffy here, who has probably never used one, he looks like he smells like onions, is guaranteed that he's one person. He smell. That dude definitely eats tuna out of the can like Neil Breen. Don't even tell me he doesn't. Because there's no, you have mercury poisoning.
I would
to be
never.
The way you think.
I would never.
He is. You would never. I would. That's my right as an American citizen. You. I'm sorry. The point is, back to the main point. It was a ton of projection in there. One, classing the hyper aggressiveness as what you value as friendship and appreciative and support is already that's a jumping off point. Already wrong. That jumping off point, you might as well just bash your face against a diving board.
Say goodbye to your plausible deniability.
All your plausible deniability is gone. Your ability to say that you don't wrangle in, you don't gaslight your fans, and your fans come in and saying you don't gaslight them is now just lost here because you have not focused on the things that would de-escalate his anger. You're telling him you would think it's a good thing. Like, I'm not saying that as someone who doesn't know. I know a little bit about psychology. I kind of know a little bit. I've also worked with kids, I've also worked in special needs school. I don't know this guy personally, but as I said, he looks like he smells like onions and he knows it. So I'm going to assume things. You haven't de-escalated, you've in fact encouraged, and then you've on top of that once again played the like, oh well, my fans are the most important fans that want me at this event. You guys are the fans, the whole fan base, 97% that want me there. Oh my god, he's got fucking hair like the lead singer of LFO.
It's not even the first. This isn't like the only time that he's had this guy on.
Luffy!
Hey, Vic.
Oh my god.
Hey, buddy. Now, aren't you lucky? You get
god,
to
they have
drink
matching
Topo
hair.
Chico while I'm drinking tea.
I'm just gonna Luffy Tifa! Sorry, I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm so deep in the
You get
meme.
one.
Here's to you, my friend. How are you?
Good. I mean, other than, well, I'm okay.
Why is Vic Mignogna showing up on a live stream wrapped in a towel like he's naked, just as if he just came out of the shower, with fucking baby Jesus nativity in the background?
You know what he looks like? You ever seen like the when the Goo Goo Dolls perform Iris live and it rains? When they get off stage, this is what I imagine. Like the lead singer, like looks like he's about to cry, and he's wrapped in a towel. He's like, "I don't want the world to see me, and I don't think that they understand." He's crying the words after. He definitely sings Oasis when no one's looking.
And other than my mom's got a bit of a cold, and I don't know how.
Cold shot on the mom.
March.
Well,
And
that
Yeah, you got it.
At the start of March, the wrestler Sting is going to have his final match. Up
Wrestling
in
fan.
Greensboro, and I'm running into a bit of a brick wall because the date of that is March 3rd. And
I swear to God, if I jump forward, if I click forward on this, and he reaches off screen and picks up an onion and bites it like he's fucking Shrek, I'm gonna lose it. I'm jumping forward.
seasons and allergies and stuff that a lot of people are getting colds. So let's get to the question, my friend, because I want to get everybody in. What is your favorite holiday song? What's your favorite Christmas song?
It's a toss-up between yours and Johnny's cut of the first Noel, and while someone called this a Christmas song, you kind of could fit into it. Looking for Angels by Skillet.
Oh, I don't know that I've heard that song. Looking for Angels by who?
Skillet.
No.
Oh, Skillet.
No. I am a Skillet fan. No. You don't get to listen to Skillet. The deeper context of Skillet are lost to you, sir. No Creed, no Flyleaf, no Skillet. You stop it.
Flyleaf. Oh my god, I haven't heard that.
Come on in here, Luffy Deathwalker.
Is this like
Come
the fourth
join
stream
us.
with him?
Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
How are you, buddy?
Okay.
Not in that great.
Okay.
Have I made the point?
Also,
I made the point?
Listen. This is for people. This is joking aside. Listen to the psychology of it all. This dude is talking about every time he hops into Vic's stream how miserable he is.
Yeah.
How miserable. Oh, I'm not doing great. My mom, and I'm angry. He's angry about things, and Vic is inviting him into this environment where he's not. I know other YouTubers that do fan hangouts, and I mean, technically you do, but like I know ones who do them live, right? Like Adam Johnson from YMS does them live. Does not allow for people can discuss blah 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 blah. Does not allow for this level of parasocial connection, and is also good to mitigate when people are going. Also, vet his fans a little bit better than that. But specifically, why I'm bringing this up. When I said how many ever videos ago, Vic only listens to the people that tell him what he wants to hear. He's bringing in a guy who just tells him it's the
your
industry
thing is my
against
favorite
you.
thing. Your thing is my favorite thing. I just like your stuff, and I'm miserable all the time.
Yep. Yeah, I'm angry internally for a multitude of reasons, whatever they're his own personal ones. And you are the light of my life. Let me tell you how great you are. And then Vic listens to that. And, whatever.
Yep.
What do you mean you hate Skillet, Joseph? I don't approve.
Do you have anything else? Because I feel like we made the point. I feel like we've made the point. Vic's fans are fucking all over the place. Vic encourages this shit, and he has a fan directly on and encourages them in a one-to-one scenario in front of these allegedly 500 people that would show up in a convention for him that make up 96 to 97% of the anime industry.
No wonder the anime industry is falling apart. There's only 500 people in it,
so
and a couple agents in Vic.
So these people aren't not listening to Vic, right? Because Vic is saying out of one side of his mouth, don't talk about this shit anymore, don't go after these people, and on the other side of his mouth he's like, yeah, no, this you know what, this and this and this, and all we can really do is hope about it. He's not chiding him and being like, why are you making videos about this? Why are you doing these things? Don't do these things. He's encouraging him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's encouraging I think it's great that you do streams about me and how great I am. I think it's great that you're angry about people not
on my
me.
behalf. Yeah.
On my behalf, yeah, because then I don't have to be angry and look like a bad guy. I can just puppet that onto you, and then people go, "Oh, his fans are terrible, but he's fun." Also, my only final thought is this is proof. This is all the video you need to see. We are watching it live on 4K. You getting embarrassed in 4K, bro. Like, she got you screen caps in the chat, everything. She's towing it to her girls. I don't know what to tell you. You're watching Manifest him do this. Gaslight his fans, like I said, that it was fancy words for defending, even though you just saw him right there gaslighting. You've seen how he weaponizes his own religion. You've seen how he lied about the industry in and of itself, or at the very least, like, downplayed the importance of other aspects of the industry, talked up his own fan base and made them feel that they're above the concept of just being fans. They're the industry itself. That's not normal behavior.
No.
And anyone who ignores that
and pinned every problem and your fans' personal problems onto them.
Yep. And anything that is against you is against them.
Yep.
And you just want him. Like, he even there's a multi-layer to it of him like a cult, continuing to push the idea that he's the thing that you want. Like, that's cult behavior.
He's all you need.
They won't let you. Yeah, I'm all.
All while keeping them at an 8. You know what this is called in a relationship, like a 1-to-1 relationship? Abuse. Say it, women now. 1, 2, 3. Abuse. It's not. It's so. Like abuse victims, you just don't realize it's happening. Anyone could tell you over and over again. You have to learn on your own. And unfortunately, the only way for you to learn on your own would be, and I don't want to wish this on people, for something to happen to you where you follow this same trend that Vic does and then find out how it doesn't work for you. Because you mean fuck around and find out is sometimes the only way people will learn?
Hey, every kid's got to fall and hit their head. You know, it's like, hey, I told you not to touch the stove. It's hot. You burn your finger. Get out of my face, kid.
I'm gonna make sure all this stuff is linked in the description below, including the X, formerly known as Twitter stuff, so you guys can see it for yourself. So you guys don't have to take our word for it. You can witness this all on your own. I know we played the whole thing, but I understand that some people are like, no, I don't want any commentary. I just want to see what's going on. You guys will have access to all that. Like I said, it will be in the description below. Thank you so much for the people who do track this stuff and keep an eye on it, because it definitely, like, I'm not gonna fucking do it. I'm not gonna fucking sit and watch Vic Mignogna streams. Fuck no. So bless your hearts for trying to keep this shit in check, because this is the kind of thing that if you don't keep it in check, it explodes. This is the same reason why it, like, to me it makes sense that Egghead keeps an eye on Jared Genesis. If you do not keep an eye on this shit, it festers and becomes a major problem, and then you have to try to backtrack to figure out what was going on. So greatly appreciated to the people who do talk about this and kind of keep it at the forefront, because it is something that is an ongoing issue. I will make sure all of that stuff is linked below. I greatly appreciate it. Feel free to leave comments down below if you have questions for us. We're more than happy to answer, I believe. Generic will leave you a fucking book. He'll write you a dissertation.
Oh, you know what? You all make it impossible for me to just be me. You are just, one day, you, me, one-on-one, I am gonna dunk on you, and that is just gonna, and I mean it not in jokes, I mean in basketball. I am gonna dunk on top of your head.
No!
and I'm gonna post you up like Shaquille O'Neal and back you down to the paint, just dunk on you.
Oh no!
And I'm gonna hit you with an ankle breaker. I'm a sham got it, and then I'll get my vengeance.
I'm gonna get bullied.
Talk about
Where can people find you, and what do you do normally?
What I do normally is write lengthy video essays about movies and how to make them better. I have a series called Microwavable Reviews where I try to force myself to keep them shorter, but unfortunately, as often is the case, I talk for like an hour and have to cut it down. But I also stream on Twitch. I usually stream anything fun and airy. I keep it easy breezy. If you want to check me out, my channel, you'll see my name in the chat. But my channel is Generic Minority, Twitch Daddy Generic Minority,
link is down below.
X or link. Thank you. X is also Generic Minority, whatever the fuck they're calling that now. And yeah, if you want to watch a highly educated brown man talk about how he knows nothing about the world outside of the streets of New York City, but can easily debunk some dumb thing that happens in a movie and why it could be done better in 2 seconds, check me out.
Thanks so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun, as much as some of the serious stuff we were talking about. As much as we were laughing at Met, that's some pretty unhinged bullshit. Like, that is not acceptable, and it should be called out as such. I'm glad to hear that it was taken down. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!